think
pre-streaming.
I like
everybody.
Scott's guess
so
a
that you
little
know.
bit more.
Hello.
I see the 30s close to 30. I don't know if they're going to touch 30, maybe high 20s in that range, and only allowing 14 points, 17 points in that range.
No respect for the Dolphins.
So we'll go with
John McMullen, you're
what was
good in your
Scott's
headset,
exact?
right?
31-10.
Okay,
Luigi, you're good.
28-14 is what I'll go.
28-14. I like it. You know what I want to see today? I want to see
9-0 fish.
the offense gel.
Yeah, flow.
I want to see
Fish.
them look good. All right, I'm not worried. Like, you're not a statistics guy,
Can't lose to that.
right?
To an
You wanna-
extent.
You want to see it look good. I want to see a good
You want
mix
name it on
of
us?
run and pass. I want to see, how about I see Miles Sanders maybe get like 90, 89, 92 yards, maybe a 4.5
Ryan
yards,
Lewis revenge game.
4.5 yards per carry.
You know who else
Well,
is
I'll
in
tell
the
you this.
revenge
Carson
game
Wentz
for?
hit his receivers.
The prop bet for Miles Sanders, and I like to look at that because that gives me an idea on what Vegas
You guys
thinks
are
he's going to
missing
get
the most
around.
obvious
He's
revenge
at
game,
61 and a half yards rushing, Miles Sanders.
Okay.
So does that tell
No.
you that he's going to run the
Which
ball a
Philadelphia
decent
Eagle
amount?
came
Or
from the Miami Dolphins.
yeah, I agree. Now, I'm trying to
Jay
think. I'm thinking of
Ajayi.
hitting the over. Now I took
Ajayi
J.J.
is going to go
Arcega
back
Whiteside
and
plus
administer punishment of the
900
team that had the
to score a
audacity to
touchdown.
let him go.
Nice.
I'm thinking, you know what?
Unfortunately, there's
Don't
nobody
take a
left
shot
on that
at
team
it.
that he
Don't
was
throw
let
a
go
shot
from,
at
so
it.
no one would
I'm
recognize him.
not killing
Not
the
even the
bank. I'm
fans.
not throwing the mortgage down. But plus
that's okay.
900, it's worth a chance. He's playing on the outside.
And I got
That
the
was a
Eagles
trade,
20
wasn't it, Jay Ajayi?
Yeah.
Who did they give up to get Jay
Like a
Ajayi?
6-round pick or something like that.
I think it was a 4th rounder. I got to double check.
Now, pretty funny answers, though. All over the place with answers. We had Terrell Owens
Well,
thrown
we
out
said
there.
he was a running back.
Right. Darren Sproles was thrown out there a few times. Right. I know. But normally people are spot on. I like
The biggest
fact
question
that
is who will
people are
replace now
missing-
Darren Sproles on the Cure Auto Insurance commercials next year? The worst commercials ever.
Oh, absolutely.
They went Darren Sproles. Michael Vick was horrific, remember?
At the A-Loft.
No, that was the A-Loft Hotel.
A-Loft. I'm Mike Vick for the A-Loft.
I know, they were awful.
Oh my God!
the
But the
A-Loft.
marketing director loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Why?
Well, she.
Because every time he walked into the lobby of that Fleabag hotel, oh, Michael Vick's here. You know, she was like some foreign chick. Who
Right,
thought,
but it was advertising for just one single
I know.
A-Loft. It was like,
It
for
was
A-Loft.
it was a 4th round pick. Tom.
fourth round pick.
It's money well spent.
Worked out.
Career, he, obviously had to fight injury, a lot of injuries.
What's up, guys?
And that was tough. But great Eagles.
I moved on to the team that matters.
They don't matter. Nobody's paying attention.
Not anymore. They did. Not anymore.
I'm paying more attention to the
What
Flyers than the
universe do you
Sixers.
live in?
It's about the Flyers to me.
I meant to me, not to
At
everybody
least the
else.
Flyers have young players who you know are going to become good. The Sixers will just dump
we
them.
don't.
They'll just dump a whole
No,
bunch
we
of
don't.
these
We say
guys.
that every year about the Flyers. It's been 40
No,
plus
they
years.
legitimately now have.
You know what's happened since the last time the Flyers won a cup? The Berlin Walls come down.
I know. I was there when
A
the Flyers
black
won
man's
the
become
cup.
president.
Flyers are irrelevant. Mr. Snyder's gone.
Melt the
You
ice.
realize that the 76ers, by the way, haven't won a championship since '83, which is only 7 years removed from the Flyers?
Yeah, but at least they've gotten close to sniffing one.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, it was in the building.
2001, and they won the first game and they got blown
Should have
out.
won the second game.
Should have won the second game.
I know.
too.
I was in LA for those
All
games.
they had to do was call one foul against Shaq on
Yeah,
Mutombo. I mean,
should've
his
won
face
that.
looked like a freaking prune after getting smacked in it.
Then it fell apart. A lot of injuries, though. George Lynch got hurt. Eric Snow got hurt.
I ran alongside Jermaine Jones in a celebrity basketball game.
Jermaine Jones.
Yeah, me
Hunter,
and Jermaine.
Hunter,
he
can you
missed
hear
2
me?
free throws at the end to fucking win it for us.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, Jermaine, you throw the game?
All right.
I have you
We are
now.
now
He was
pre-streaming, so
talented.
start watching
Jones.
the
Jermaine
F's.
The,
We need
the
to do
thriller
audio. We
from
need to.
Camilla.
Hunter, do you want to get audio checks all around, or you?
He slid all the way in the back end of the first round.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, it's good, Tony.
Hello?
Wow.
Hello? 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 Is that loud? Is that okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1. Can you hear? Is that okay, Hunter?
Mike checks.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. You are looking live.
You are looking live.
John
Hunter-
McMullen?
Hunter Hurst Brody.
John McMullen is low.
Yes.
No, he normally is. I need to hear him speak.
Go ahead, John.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
See if he can go up just a tad.
One more, John. Tuck that mic in up a little bit, please.
Tucking it in. Tucking it in.
Pretend you're RuPaul.
Buffalo
Just
Bill.
talking.
Buffalo Bill. Tucking it in.
And Luigi, please.
Check.
Talk your normal loud.
Talk your normal voice, Luigi.
I am. Check.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
That's
is
my
not.
normal voice.
That's
You
your
talk your show voice then. What's
Yeah.
your show voice?
Hello.
No, that's
I'm
so
talking.
not your show voice.
Okay,
I'm
is that
talking.
is
I'm
Luigi
talking.
good?
Everyone else is just louder than him. I guess it's just natural. But
No, trust me, it's not.
See, now there's more
There it is.
Luigi.
There it is. Okay.
We woke Luigi up.
Talk about the Flyers because
How
we
much-
sleep.
the top of the hour.
What do we have coming at the top of the hour?
Just you guys rolling right into it from the opening.
Beautiful, man.
Actually, I think
It is hot.
Any chance we lose this one,
It's,
fellas?
No.
No
testing.
shot. I've already
Luigi might think
guaranteed
so.
a win.
just in case.
Do you
like-
have the
Is my mic okay,
15-second
Josh?
Krause coat drops?
I do not. Did you email
The,
that to
the
me yet?
station is running them on the Maze and Aton show, so they are in the house.
Okay, I'm not sure how to get that from the Zeta
Peterson at the
to
frickin' podium.
me playing it.
All right, I'll email them to you once we get on. Do you also have the part of the Eagles chant from Miami?
Yes,
At the
Conlon sent that
hotel
to me,
last
and he's
night.
also going to be here in a couple minutes.
Okay,
Who's going to
good.
be there?
Does your roof
Conlon?
leak or just not sure
The
if it'll
intern.
make it through the next
Oh,
storm?
okay.
If so, you need someone you can trust.
Eagles used to
someone
bring
with a proven
players up
track
to the
record for
podium
quality work
every
that's done
once in a
right
while.
the first time. The team
Fletcher
at Surf
Cox,
and Turf
the
Roofing
lights,
works hard to disrupt the
just
industry and change
sweat
the way
like you
people
would
think
know.
Patrick
about
Ewing out there?
contractors.
Yeah, oh my God.
How many times have you set an
Poor
appointment
guy.
with a
Joe, we
roofer
gonna talk
and
about
no
the
one
turkey
shows up? Maybe
thing you
they
had
do
here
show up,
for
they
Thanksgiving?
perform shoddy
No.
work
No?
and
No.
leave you still
Just the
wondering
bus
if your
trip.
roof
How'd
is
it go?
going to withstand
Good.
the
It
next
was great.
storm.
Yeah, it was
State-of-the-art
awesome.
digital analysis, including a video inspection of your roof, real-time project communication, and a free lifetime warranty. Every Surf and Turf Roofing client homeowner receives personalized 5-star rated service. The Surf and Turf Roofing team is an Owens Corning Platinum preferred contractor. A distinction
I thought the
that
side
less
of things
than
said rapid
1%
for a
of
second.
roofers carry.
Not rapid,
Call
but
Surf and
rapid.
Turf Roofing today.
30 seconds until the top.
609-365-7663
Tippy, tippy top.
and schedule your commitment-free appointment with one of their certified
Got the Christmas
estimators.
tree. I
That's
just noticed.
609
Volume low.
My brother just got a
365-7663
Tony. You would love it.
or visit
14 and a half foot tree.
surfandturfroofing.com.
Who's got
For the
that?
My brother.
A new law helps survivors of childhood
You
sexual
gotta see this
abuse
thing,
take
dude.
legal action.
14 and a
Jeff
half.
Anderson and
He's got high-ass
Associates and Attorney
ceilings,
Greg Gianfrocaro can help.
Does he live in a
Visit
church?
itstimenojersey.com or call confidentially
All
today
right.
1-800-ITS-TIME.
This should be
80
good,
South
though.
Main
the
Street,
volume.
Look at that
Frederick,
thing, Tone.
Jersey, 08865.
Oh, shit.
Look at that thing.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah, there's the kids decorating on the freaking ladder.
Wow.
Isn't that sick, dude?
Here we go.
Eagles game day and time for the countdown to kickoff show. With Mr. Philadelphia, Tony Bruno.
All right, listen to the crowd. Yeah, they've been waiting to see this.
Live on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Give goes to Peterson. He is stacked up for a loss.
From Tolman Joe's, 26 East Oregon Avenue in the heart of South Philly. Presented by IBEW Local 98. Powered by Martin Law and fueled by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
He is hit. He stumbles. He's down. And the Eagles take over.
Now, it's Eagles game day and time for the countdown to kickoff show with Tony Bruno.
You are looking live. Yes, we are alive. We are here at Tollman Joe's. It is a Sunday morning as Thanksgiving weekend finally starts to slow down. Slow. Hopefully the Eagles start to speed up this afternoon down in Miami where it's an Eagles takeover. We have a takeover here with the great Joe Krause. We have Luigi Curto, the great John McMullen. Miss Robin's here. Nick is here. Joe Krause's here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a big day here at Tollman Joe's because this day we will find how many people? 54 people who will be going with us on December 15th. It's 2 weeks away from
Today.
It is.
It's because it's December 1st. That's right.
This is
Happy
registration day, Tony. All of the qualifiers and all of the seats are taken on the 54 passenger luxury charter. Now today is registration day for all of those who have already qualified. Now, if those individuals who have qualified
Aren't here present to win.
aren't here present to finalize their seat or claim their official seat, Then we move to the standby list, and we start to fill in on this charter. So that's what's going to happen over the next 2 hours. Our first two qualifiers, Sean Kimmerly and his son Benjamin showed up super early.
Yeah, they were here before Luigi was here.
I saw him sweeping up toll mans earlier.
Exactly. They were helping put up the Christmas tree. And then we have another couple here. I didn't recognize those people.
Well, they're wearing camouflage jerseys.
I know. I couldn't see them at first.
Ted's here with his wife from Screwballs, so they're one of our Screwballs winners.
I know them.
Here.
I see them every week.
Our first, Sean Kimmerly and his son, the one challenge already presented to the bus trip is Benjamin Kimmerly.
Yes.
Is a Washington Redskin fan.
He has a Washington Redskin jersey on, and that means that if a Sixer fan comes in here today, they will automatically get into a confrontation, and then Mike Scott will run in off the bench, not contribute anything to the team, and then cause a fight here outside in the Toll Man Joe's parking lot.
But as a fan, he knows he could have just showed up and they would let him walk in, right? Like,
exactly right.
They don't charge at the door.
Exactly right. So people will come in. Everybody knows the rules, Joe.
Must be present to win. Today, it's must officially register to get on the bus. All of that taking place over the next 2 hours.
It's like, when you take your kids to college, those of us who were parents, that check-in day at college where you go into the stool, right, John? You've known this story. You show up and you make sure everybody's in, their names are all on the list. Your name's on the list. You've qualified to go on this trip.
Yeah, you're there. You're there. Your
there.
Seats are already assigned. Your meal has already been allocated. Your special gift from our sponsor, yet to be announced but coming, is
swag.
there.
There's going to be swag
There's
on
going
the
to be
bus?
some swag on the bus as well. The seats at the stadium are already reserved. But if you don't get here and you miss out, then we start to filter down to the standby list to fill in the 54 seats.
Even the airlines don't do this.
No.
They don't do this.
You get a bag of pretzels.
Exactly.
That's
and
it.
you're lucky if you get a bag of pretzels.
Maybe you get to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Maybe. I've been on too many.
I'm done flying Spirit. I'm done flying Spirit.
So that's what everybody says. And then they find another cheap fare and they go back on there. Or that or Frontier.
Well, I flew Spirit on the way to Dallas and back. I mean,
it's a good job.
I couldn't beat the price, man.
No,
$250 round trip? Come on.
Then you got to pay $70 for a bag, and then
that's an outrage.
Yeah,
and then you're loading in zone.
Oh, I'm always
Z.
loading, John.
Yeah.
I mean,
right, exactly.
Of course.
No, Luigi's here. We're all great Thanksgiving here at Tollman Joe's for Joe Krause and all the military veterans who came out. Great job by all those people while we were at home on Thanksgiving Day. People here volunteering to help, and then Joe Krause with all the great turkeys and food product. Took them all. You even took them to the 3rd District Police
Station.
Station.
Went over to 3rd District with a full Thanksgiving meal for all of the men and women who were working that day over at the 3rd District. Tony, it was like I walked in to the 3rd District with
America's
bags
Most
of
Wanted.
money or
Yes.
something. It was unbelievable and how appreciative everybody was over at the 3rd District. So good stuff.
Did you bring Luigi a turkey sandwich? He had to work on Thanksgiving.
And on my birthday yesterday. I had to work on
right,
Thanksgiving
Luigi's
and my
birthday.
birthday.
You did not qualify, Luigi. I'm
But
sorry.
I've been present to win the entire time here, Joe. I've been present the entire time.
How old are you? What are you worried about your birthday?
How old am I? I'm 38, man. I just turned 38. I'm getting up there.
Once you're past 14, okay. You
Exactly.
gotta work on your birthday.
Now,
Who cares?
16 and then 18, because 18-year-olds now think they're 21.
Yeah.
And then 21-year-olds want to go out and drink, but they're drinking when they're 13, so it doesn't matter.
I got things to do, though, John. That's the difference between me and other 38-year-olds. I actually have things to do.
All right.
And Tone, one last thing before I jump off the headset. Of course, you'll spend the next 2 hours getting ready for the game down in Miami. Our winner from over at the Landmark, enjoying themselves down at the hotel. We'll hear some audio from the Big Eagles pep rally last
Do
night.
we have any audio from the hotel room where our winners are?
No, we don't have any audio from inside the hotel room. Just from the courtyard at the hotel where they were celebrating last night in preparation for the game today. So we'll have that coming up a little bit later in hour number 2.
And Hunter Brody back in the studio getting ready. We're all ready. We're ready, John, because today this is called a perfectly – you talk about the plate when you're waiting on Thanksgiving to just load it up with all the good meats and cheeses and stuffing and and beans and whatever else you have. And the gravy.
Beans? Where do beans come
The
from?
green beans with the
Oh,
almonds.
the green beans. Okay.
Green beans with the sliced almonds.
Yeah, I thought we were getting
Oh,
baked.
the string bean almondine is a staple
String
at any
bean
wedding
almondine.
buffet you ever go to.
Absolutely.
It's you have the pasta, the chicken, the fish, and then of course at the end it's the string bean almondine.
Absolutely. The Eagles are being served my gigantic platter, and they are being asked today to just feast on the bounty that is the Miami Dolphins defense and the Miami Dolphins offense, John McMullen, because the stats don't lie. And so today, if Carson Wentz, now again, Carson Wentz is always the focal point, as we well know. If Carson Wentz doesn't go out there today and light up the Miami Dolphins, not just having to throw the ball, but pound the football, and it's on Doug Peterson too, but everybody always talks about Carson. The Miami Dolphins defense stinks against the run, and it really stinks against the pass. So this is the perfect opportunity after watching the Dallas Cowboys spit the wishbone at home on Thanksgiving Day against the Buffalo Bills. This is the manna from heaven that you've been waiting for.
This is a tonic game. This is a game to get healthy. And this is it, obviously. I mean, you talked about the Dallas Cowboys, Tony, and part of that Jerry Jones implosion, make no mistake, it's on the field stuff. Obviously, the Cowboys aren't successful, but he's also looking at the schedule and saying, as bad as Philadelphia has played, and I'm not making any excuses, they've been tremendously disappointing, especially in the passing game.
Absolutely.
How do you lose this game? How do you lose next week? How do you lose December 15th? We were just talking about at Washington. It's going to be really difficult. And Jerry Jones sees this. He sees the implosion coming for his team. How are we going to overcome the soft schedule of the Philadelphia Eagles? Guess what? They're not. They're not. The Eagles are going to win these games.
They should. The Eagles have to win these games, and that's what makes this whole thing so crazy because, again, not excuses, reasons. The Eagles, the Cowboys had reasons early in the year after they won their first couple of games. They lost a couple of their stud offensive linemen, right? Things weren't – and then the Cowboys struggled. The Eagles' defense was horrible at the beginning of the year. They couldn't get a healthy body out to play defensive back. The Cowboys are 100% healthy now. So they have no excuse. They were home. They were favored. And this was a game they had to win. It's the same Buffalo Bills team, by the way, that the Eagles went up there and stomped.
But transitive property doesn't work in the end.
No, you're right.
Well, the Cowboys, to give them just a little, just a tiny little bit of escape, was Van Der Esch was out. And he is a major component of that defense.
No doubt.
In the middle.
I totally agree with you, but that's the Cowboys have been the healthiest of the teams that you're looking at in the playoffs.
Oh, no doubt.
Then we weren't missing an offensive lineman. They still have one of the best running backs in the game.
And now they lost Connor Williams to a torn ACL, so they've lost
another offensive
lineman. Van Der Esch has a neck problem. He's had neck problems since college, so that could be a problem not only moving forward
but a
this
chronic
year,
issue.
Yes, a chronic issue. So that's one of the reasons he went where he went in the draft. The Cowboys probably picked him a little bit earlier than most people expected because they were concerned about that neck problem. That's why he wears that neck roll. Things are trending positively, and a lot of it is luck because we're talking about an Eagles team coming off consecutive losses. And the only reason we're talking positively is not about the Philadelphia Eagles. It's about the Miami Dolphins, who are the least talented team in football. And, guys, nobody knows more about tanking than the city of Philadelphia because of what went on with the
Luigi
Sixers.
was all in on the tank, and he's still going there trying to figure out who's left from the tank.
I'm with you. As far as the tank goes, I understood for the first year or two it's what needed to happen. However, I was with you saying if you're going to do it, then let the people in for free. If you're going to tank, let them in for free.
Let me say this. In the NBA, okay, maybe it's a viable strategy. You don't have to tank in the NFL.
No.
There's worst to first every year in this league. It happens last place schedule versus first place schedule. You saw the Chicago Bears, perfect example. They spike. They're a last place team. They make a few good decisions. They're in first place. Now this year they're playing a first place schedule, and they're back down.
Exactly.
If you make good decisions in this league, you can turn things around quickly. But if you trade away Minkah Fitzpatrick and you trade away Laramie Tunsil, you're not trying to win now.
And they're running
But they're
back
not going to
too.
let. But they're not. Don't make no mistakes about this. The Miami Dolphins are not just going to let the Eagles come in and just let them win.
No. They'll play
and
hard.
that's where Brian Flores deserves a lot of credit.
Yes.
Because coaches and players don't tank. Executives tank. Sam Hinkie tanked. The Sixers players weren't tanking. They were trying. They just had no talent.
Correct.
That's what's going on in Miami. And you got to give Brian Flores credit as a rookie head coach. He's got these guys playing. They have 2 wins they probably shouldn't have, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's December. The calendar just turned. This is the time of the year in the NFL when teams go, you know what? Thinking about the off season, thinking about what I'm going to do with my family over the holidays. This is a perfect storm for
It
the
really
Philadelphia
is. You couldn't have set this up any better with the Cowboys' recent struggles and now the Eagles getting, as I said earlier, this is like that second helping of dessert. When you go back, you've already had the pumpkin pie, then you see that apple pie over there, and you got to get a slice of that. And this is a game where that's why the Eagles are favored by 10.5 points today.
So this
on
is
the road.
So this is a must-win, but not in the historical sense of must-win. This is a must-win. It's like you just have to win this game because you're supposed to win this game, and that's it. Like,
You're the worst team in history
if you don't win this game, right?
Absolutely.
Which means Dolphins outright today. Take a money line.
Oh, yeah. It's too early. We still have to let this game marinate. The Philly Godfather's going to join us. Philly's biggest fan still ahead as we are just getting started here live at Toll Man Joe's. The crowd coming in for the bus trip. It's starting to drizzle a little bit out there, but they're down in Miami, baby.
80 degrees down
And
there.
Benivo Amiami.
Beautiful day for football in South Beach, and we are coming back. Much more still ahead. We're live here at Toll Man Joe's in South Philly on Oregon Avenue, right here on 97.3 ESPN, and you can watch and listen to on twitch.tv, Tony Bruno Show.
Hour number 1 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown and Kickoff Show is fueled
Oh,
by
that city would
Dunkin'.
implode
After the
on it.
Eagles
If Michigan
win,
gets fired,
you
they
win
lose
with
this game.
Dunkin'.
This is the
But it's a disaster if they lose this game.
This is the season. If you think about it, the Cowboys losing, right? They go down and take care of business against Miami. They set themselves up to control their own future in that matchup against Dallas. This is the season right here.
Well, they control their own destiny right now. I mean, if they win out, they win the division. But
if they lose today, it's going to be very hard to do that.
You know what?
Yeah, I'd like to try and get Colin in if he's available. Is he available to join us by phone?
I think Dallas is going to lose Thursday.
Give him a call. We'd like to
bring
him in.
The Rams. They're going to have cushion by the time this is
Just
over.
let Tony know in his headset that you have Colin on the line.
The whole way.
Yeah.
I'll verify Philly's biggest fan for 35, okay? And coming back, if you can drop that Eagles chant in from the hotel
water, yeah,
last
I think
night.
you said more coffee. Yeah, water, that'd be good. Thanks.
Yeah, just if you can, or randomly you can drop it. That's fine. And just let Tony know. I'm going to be off mic. Let Tony know that Colin is there.
Okay, I'll give him a call now.
All right, thanks.
I can't hear any of the drops. So did you turn them down?
$7,000 off the MSRP of $34,145. Have a job clearing $400 per week? We want to help, and we want your.
I don't hear any of the drops.
Dial 888-703-6459 or go to mattblackKey@nj.com for complete details. 0% based on 1515 for 1,000.
I don't have to have these other lights, just the green one on, right?
Just the green one, yeah.
Nothing's playing.
He didn't change anything on his end, so it should.
I got it cranked up.
Oh, there, I hear it now.
Okay, what happened? You had it down, didn't you?
Yes.
Damn it, Nick.
Yes, you did. That's it. That's the one you need to put that up. Nick. No, put it up. There. Now press something, Tony.
I'm playing it now. Now I don't hear it.
It was just playing. There you go.
There
it is.
You got it now? I hear it now, loud and clear. Oh. There we go.
1 minute, guys.
You all right back there, Hunter?
You are looking live.
Thirst for non-white quarterbacks. Second serve of the pumpkin pie. That's some white folks shit. In the hood, we be eating sweet potato pie.
That's damn right, man.
And I want to welcome everybody that's on the Twitch channel.
I'm here. What's up, Hunter?
And everywhere else.
Oh, come on, stop it. Melt
Damn
the ice.
right,
Bring in the Globetrotters.
We're winning the cup.
Which cup? What cup? The Solo Cup?
The Calder Cup? What cup?
The Solo Cup?
Yeah.
Nah, I actually went to a game this year, Hunter, which is the first time I went to a game in about 4 years because I've been off the Flyers. But no, they got some jump in the skates, man. They got a chance this year. Yeah, they got a chance this year.
There's some jam in the building?
There's some jam in the building. They're up on their skates. No, they finally got some end-to-end players. That's what it is.
End-to-end action. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we're going to come back with an audio cut from the Eagles Twitter of Eagles fans in Miami singing the fight song.
All right, beautiful.
It's nothing but
and then after that, I'll play music. So it'll be audio cut, then music.
Okay. It's nothing but bottles of Fireball being open and miss beer pong shots.
Law, the law firm for injured workers.
It's on. It's on.
Ah, yes, the sound of people getting wasted on South Beach. The sound that I didn't hear, feel, taste, smell, or anything this weekend on a beautiful Thanksgiving weekend where everybody was hunkered down at home, wasting their days watching bad movies on Netflix and watching meaningless college football games all day Saturday.
Meaningless, all right.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, come on.
Yeah, Alabama lost, man.
I took a bath yesterday in college.
Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, that was a set-it-and-forget-it game. Yeah. That was one of those games. My nephew and I were talking on Thanksgiving Day. The great Joey said, this is a game where you take $10,000 and you put it down on Ohio State and don't even watch the game. I didn't put anything down, but I still didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
I stayed away from college football. I'm sorry. I cannot watch student athletes. I want to see the big boys play, and that is the National Football League.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Plus, I didn't go see that. I didn't go watch that stupid. I don't have to watch it. I have Netflix. That stinking Irishman movie.
Here we go.
You didn't watch it?
Hell no.
I watched it.
I haven't watched it yet.
It was great.
Was it?
It was great. For what it was great.
Yeah.
How was it great?
Because it was. I think the acting in it was great. The depiction of these
I saw a clip.
No matter how bad they were.
De Niro's kicking some guy here in South Philly on the curb and misses him worse than any of the lowest high school gym wrestling matches you'll ever see.
He was just doing his Cody Parkey impersonation, Tony. That's all he was doing out there.
It was but the old Batman, the original TV series Batman.
Oh, hey now.
Whoa.
Hey.
The original TV,
that was
remember
Scorsese
Batman when they used to punch and then they would put the big
pow,
boom and pow. They should have done that in this movie. When De Niro is trying to kick a guy and misses him by a foot, they should have just put pow, bam.
It's actually in there in the director's cut. You'll see it. You'll see it in the special director's cut, which is 4.5 hours long it's running.
All right, Joe Krause now.
That's the problem. I can't carve out 3.5 hours of my life. I want to watch this.
You do it in spurts.
There's nothing that I could watch for 3.5. Nothing I can do that lasts 3.5 hours.
Thompson's on
I mean, hey, Tone. I mean, I know you're getting a little older.
I
but
know. Now we got Joe Krause.
We have Colin Thompson as well.
Do we have Colin Thompson on the phone? Is he down in Tampa?
CT in Tampa.
Is he down in Florida or is he in Texas?
Tone, go to Colin because he's tight on time.
Okay.
We'll go back to the bus group in the next break.
Okay, let's go down now somewhere either in Texas or Central Florida.
Either way, there's no taxes.
Exactly right. Either state, there's no taxes. That's great tax-free shopping knowledge right there.
Yes.
And Colin Thompson joining us now. Are you in Tampa, Colin?
No, I'm on my way south. I'm in the Baltimore area.
Baltimore.
Working my way south. So
Baltimore. He said the Charm City getting crabs.
By the way, now, of course, that big game coming up also at 1 o'clock opposite the Eagles. The Baltimore Ravens and the Patriots, the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. The weather's sloppy, right? That's what they're saying down there.
Yeah, it is sloppy, but that's right. That's what the Ravens want.
Yeah,
Someone made an argument the other day that the rain is what's going to slow them down. Well, that's right up their alley, and it's really right up the Niners' alley. But what they want to do with the play action and outside zone scheme stuff. So it's going to be a great game. I don't think the weather will really dictate what both teams want to do too much.
All right, we're not talking about the Baltimore Ravens or the San Francisco 49ers, although I did take
that is the best game of the week.
I did take Baltimore and lay the 5.5 if you were scoring at home. But let's talk about
wait. You could take him alternative line like I did last week when I found a genius and told you they were going to blow him out.
You know that he destroyed me. No, Luigi took the alternative line.
I took Seattle alternative line last week, $2,000 on the money line, and
that's good.
Went that way with it.
But he didn't bet on Ohio State. He bets $2,000 on an alternative NFL line, but doesn't take the biggest lock of the year, the Ohio State Buckeyes over Michigan.
No, I took a bath on Nevada UNLV instead.
If you deserve to take a bath if you're betting Nevada UNLV.
I did.
On a Saturday night.
Meanwhile,
Colin, so you sound a little down, man. How was the Thanksgiving? You all right? Are you heading down south now?
Yeah, I'm heading south. The Thanksgiving was great. My house looked a little slow start against UConn yesterday, but came back strong. And a nice win for the Temple Owls to finish the year. They're going bowling. And a great year for Rod Carey in his first year. But no, great Thanksgiving. How was yours, Stone?
Everything was good, man. We're here. We're all happy. We're healthy. My mom's 95, or 95th Thanksgiving. You know, life is good, man. And then we got the Eagles today, and we all agree. I don't think there's anybody who will not say that you couldn't have a better, you could go to a buffet and keep loading your dish up. This is the manna that the Eagles have been given today. I mean, this is a game where if they don't go down there and not just beat them, and at least look impressive and move the ball and run and throw and do everything you should be able to do against this Miami defense. You want to talk disappointment in this town. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I'm just happy to see that Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson are back together. I think that's the puzzle piece for the Eagles offense for them to be successful, especially with Carson Wentz. He didn't have a ton of time back there, it feels like, and he's holding on the ball a lot. The offense doesn't look in rhythm. Like you said, Tone, they need to show today that they can put drives together, look like a manageable offense, go and win you a football game, because the defense has been playing great. There's going to be some turnovers today, probably a defensive touchdown or two. That's what Miami's going to give you. Fitzmagic takes risks. He can beat the Eagles. We've seen it in the past, but he also had the Buccaneers receivers and running back by committee they had and some defensive playmakers last year when that happened. So, no, I like the Eagles today. Whenever that line is 10 or so, I think they're going to be fine. I don't see a backdoor. I don't see Miami doing much offensively and for that matter, defensively. So I know Gazecki's a little bit of a matchup problem, but he's been quiet in his career at Miami, the former Penn State and New Jersey product. So I think the Eagles do fine today. I think maybe this is the day where Miles Sanders gets a bulk of carries. Give it to him, show what he can do, take the next step in your development as a rookie running back. Great ball security, multiple touches in the passing game, and over 15 carries would be awesome for him today. So I think the Eagles will be fine, and I think they're going to show that they're a team trending in the right direction because they're getting healthy.
All right, Colin, let's try to find something that could go wrong, and one thing is Zach Ertz, the fact that he's dealing with a hamstring issue. He's going to try to play. He's going to give it a go. The Eagles elevated Josh Perkins from the practice squad just in case. If Carson Wentz doesn't have that security blanket of his top target, Zach Ertz, or he's got to tap out early in the game, whatever happens, we've seen that affect the Eagles in the past. How much would that hurt this passing game?
Well, it would hurt it immensely because you could see how well, really, Carson looks like an all-pro quarterback when he throws to the Ertz, other than that in-cut he threw a couple weeks ago that was behind him. But when he throws the Ertz, they're in rhythm. You can just tell they're on the same page, and everyone else he's just not on the same page with whatsoever. So that will affect the passing game. But I look at it this way. This is an opportunity for Goddard to step up, solidify himself as, hey, I could, like Trey Burton did when Ertz went down, and Trey got himself a huge contract from the Bears because of it. That I'm a legitimate number one tight end. He blocks like one, and Ertz has actually become a great blocker as well. So I have a great opportunity for Goddard. But if I'm Ertz, I'm the Eagles, why is he playing? I understand this is a must-win game, and they're all must-win, but he's your all-pro, and he has a hamstring issue. This isn't like he has soreness. Hamstring problems, I never was fast enough to have a hamstring problem, but hamstring problems, they linger around. They're like a sprained ankle. They don't get better. So they only get worse. So I would sit him. It's a very, very manageable.
This isn't a fantasy sit because Luigi would sit him in fantasy. We're talking about actually sitting him in the game because it matters.
Yeah, I would sit him because this is your future of your offense. It's on Zach Ertz's shoulders, and you don't need him to carry the load today. So if I'm Zach and I'm the Eagles training staff, if he doesn't feel close to 100% and you feel like he's going to re-injure it, I wouldn't even play him.
Now, Jordan Howard is the most bizarre stinger I've ever heard of. This is his third game now?
Yeah.
What's going on now? Is the medical staff pulling a fast one on us? Can this guy be that hurt for 3 consecutive weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nerve issue, so the strength in his shoulder is the issue. Until he gets it back, medical team is not going to clear him. But, Colin, this gives an opportunity for a revenge game we were talking about, Tony.
Jay Ajayi.
Going back to Miami, he was so successful there in the 2016 season, 3 200-yard games. Do you think Jay Ajayi's ready to go? You mentioned Miles Sanders, but we need that Jordan Howard-type presence in this
is
offense.
a super double revenge game for Jay Ajayi, going down to stick it in the faces of the franchise that gave him away for a fourth-round draft pick. Unfortunately, no one is still left from when he was there to go down and give revenge to, except his former buddy Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's the only guy left.
No, I think Devontae Parker was still hanging out down there.
Yeah, you think he was. Yeah, there may be one or two guys left.
Fitzmagic was in Buffalo or wherever he was. I mean, he was in the Jets, and he was with the Bucs. I don't even know if he was there for Jay. But, no, I mean, I think they used Jay great last week. I think the more you can get them involved together, I want to see Miles Sanders I want to see Doug take the next step and use the running backs in the run game, even though it's not a thing that he does. Just because there's bad weather doesn't mean you have to run the football. Like, I know in Buffalo he was forced to, in Green Bay they were forced to, and I thought the offense looked the best it looked in those two games because they had the ball, they ran the ball. It helps Carson Wentz do it, cleans things up for him. So maybe a great day for Jay. He looks great for a guy to come off the couch and play the way he did last week. I was very impressed. The thing for me is going to be the ball security. They know he hasn't played. They know he hasn't been hit. Can he put the ball away? So him and Miles Sanders together, it would be great if they could get maybe, I don't know, there's a number out there, 25 to 30 rushes behind that offensive line that's healthy now, trending in the right direction. I think it's safe to say, guys, the Eagles are trending in the right direction because of their health. No?
Absolutely right. You're trending in the right direction. You're heading south, my friend. As someone once said, go south, young man, because the weather here is going to start turning ugly, and it's much nicer down in Florida. The great Colin Thompson, ladies and gentlemen.
Right,
John McMullen.
No taxes, John McMullen, right?
Yes,
exactly.
no taxes.
Well, in Baltimore there is. In
Tremendous
Baltimore,
tax knowledge, no state taxes in either.
Exactly. We got a break. Good to talk to you, Colin. We'll see you soon, brother. Be careful. We're coming back.
See you guys.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Thompson from Temple University and their Tampa Bay Vipers of the XFL. Meanwhile, when we come back, we'll go back live now. Crowd starting to fill in for our bus trip to Washington in 2 weeks. December 15th, baby. It's going to be lit. And we'll break the game down. I have some secret big game players that I'm going to reveal today.
Ryan Lewis?
Who to watch for. Wait, don't give it out yet. I will tell you who to watch for today.
He's teasing it, man. He's teasing.
Come on, John. What's the matter with you?
You've been in this business long enough. You know what a tease is.
We're coming back live at Tollman Joe's on 97.3 ESPN and also on Twitch.tv. Tony Bruno Show.
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff Show, presented by IBEW Local 98.
Hunter, are you there? Philly's biggest fan is ready to go.
Oh, he is?
He is ready. But Tony, when we come back, I'll toss it to me for 30 seconds, Tony. All right?
Okay.
And then I'll
so we're
going
to do John first or you?
No, come to me and then I'll go to Doc.
Okay.
I'm going to be a quick hit. Okay?
All right, you sound a little distorted.
Yeah, you hear that too, Tone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad.
You may have to pull away from that a little bit, I think, John. Talk.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, that
check.
sounds distorted.
Yeah, it does. You pull it away just a little bit. Not enough. Not there. Okay.
Keep talking then.
1, 2. Audio check. 1, 2. Live down at Tollman Joe's.
That's
1, 2. 1, 2. Why is that doing that, man? 1, 2. Audio check. Is that better?
Yeah,
yes, that's much better.
Yeah,
Hunter, is that better?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I hate this wireless microphone.
I know.
It sounds good now, though.
It sounds fine now, though. It does. Tony, did you see on Twitter regarding the movie?
I'm not on Twitter, Rob.
I know. The Rich Ham Show is saying,
1,
I
2,
agree with
audio
all of this.
check,
Movie
check.
could have
1,
been so
2,
much
1,
better
2.
if that had a younger actor play Sheeran. The only scenes De Niro was good in were the scenes he was actually playing an 80-year-old man in a wheelchair.
Nick, where can I go? The back here?
I only saw the one scene where he was kicking a guy
Nick,
and missed him.
you have a speaker up here. Is that going to be an issue? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hang on. 2. 1, is that?
Oh, you just cut out.
It's cutting out. 1, 2, is that better? 1, 2.
Now you're fine.
1, 2.
That's
1,
wireless
2.
on wireless crime right there. My mic's off, by the way.
No, it's not.
I hear you.
Can you
No,
hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
I can't hear myself at all.
That means that your return is not on.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Jesus, that's loud. Okay, there it goes. That's good.
So we pass the savings on to our members in the form of low rates. We also provide up to 100% financing, home checks to bring your seller, 24/7 account access, and live phone support.
It is starting to fill up with all of the bus people. Bus people, not short bus.
Bus people.
Bus people. For the December 15th
Robin,
match.
quiet for a second, please.
Testing.
Efficiency with a new
How's that?
K&N
Hunter?
air
Yeah, it's better.
Friday through
Hello,
Sunday,
hello,
get
hello.
a $20
Hello,
gift
hello.
card after
Hello,
mail-in
hello,
rebate
hello.
when you purchase
Tony, don't
any
forget we have Doc
K&N air
on
filter.
hold.
You can even buy
Johnny
online
Doc's
and
on
pick
hold
up your gifts.
Yeah, we're going to
in-store.
come in with the
O'Reilly
string
Auto
band
Parts.
music.
Better parts.
You
better
know what, Hunter?
prices
Put that
every
string
day.
band music on deck for just 10, 15 seconds. Tony's going to come to me for a bus trip hit, then bring the string band music in. And
So
let,
you're
and let-
before Johnny Doc?
I'm going to be before Doc for 30 seconds.
Register for your authentic.
Give me
then
the-
I'll come
give me
back
the
with
mic.
song. We got 2 seconds.
Okay.
Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
I get rid of that. Ah, yes, indeed. The crowd starts filing in. Not Jerome, not the bus Jerome Bettis.
Not that bus.
But the great luxury bus. 2 weeks from today, we will already be almost to Washington, D.C. The man here, the great Joe Krause, he's in the crowd. Johnny Doc, Philly's biggest fans, coming up. He's on the line. But let's go back to Joe Krause in the house with the fans who are filing in now on a miserable Sunday morning.
Tony Bruno, the theme of our magical bus tour is Let's Roll, which will be on December 15th. We will all depart from right down here at Tollman Joe's. Some of the lucky winners who are going to be on the bus.
Are they awake back there?
They're awake back
awake
here.
back
They're
there.
starting to fill in.
Yeah.
They were popping bottles back there, Tony.
All right, so that coming up on the 15th, we're going to officially register all of our qualifiers who are going to be on the bus for that magical December 15th bus trip. Remember, you depart from Tollman Joe's at 9 a.m. We'll have the locker room with Billy Schwein. We'll be here live at Tollman Joe's to send the bus off on the road. And then you, of course, will do the live countdown to kickoff show from I-95. Now, coming up on the show, we'll meet some of our passengers who are going to be part of what will be, Tony, the biggest trip of the year.
Absolutely. This is going to be awesome, man. I still don't know how we're going to do a live show from a moving vehicle.
I'm worried about where we're going to get gas from. You know, gas
No,
prices vary from state to
we'll
state.
get gas. We'll stop.
Robin and Nick will take care of making sure that we are on the air. This is one of those moments where I'll delegate. But Tony, here's the one thing I can guarantee. I can defer any questions about it to Philly's biggest fan, John Doherty, because Local 98, if we need them down here that morning to wire us up, they'll take care of it.
Absolutely, man. I'm not a certified electrician, but I can handle electrical matters as well.
I've seen you do it, Tony. You're still here to be able to talk on the radio, so I know you are good at what
Absolutely. Meanwhile, let's go to our friend, the great, the Phillies' biggest fan. I mean, there's no doubt about this. Can we have a little string band music, though? I want to hear it. Hunter, give me some string band
There it
music.
is. Strike up.
We're down here right in the shadows of 2 Street. Some of the Mummers guys were working out under the bridge here.
Yeah, they're practicing. It's getting time,
in
Tony.
the Tollman Joe's parking lot, undercover here. That's where you can park for free. And those guys were practicing. They were yelling at Robin because she was over there taking some video. I said, no, we're not spying on you. We just wanted to get a little string
He's
band.
over there pulling a Belichick. You can't spy on Mummers. What's the matter with you?
But Johnny Doc joins us now, Philly's biggest fan. John, good morning, man. How was the Thanksgiving weekend?
Great. How about you guys? By the way,
Beautiful.
happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's not over yet. And by the way, there will be a lot of leftovers today if the Eagles can go down there and do what they're supposed to do. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. Couldn't be one person in America who will pick the Miami Dolphins straight up. There may be people taking them with the points, but this is, and I've been saying it, everybody knows this, if you wanted to have something handed to you on a platter, the Eagles' schedule right now with the Cowboys losing on Thanksgiving Day is being handed right to them for the taking.
Oh, I agree. listen, that Thursday was so big. There's no reason, okay, why we don't come down and roll today. I mean, this was just handed to them. You know, today's a big game. You know, the weather's great. I mean, there's no excuses. You're getting people back. I mean, you got to just go down and beat them. I think that Miami season, they won a couple of games. That's what they want to do. You know, every Miami article, they're talking about who their, you know, number 1 or 2 draft picks going to be this year. And, you know, we got a shot at it, but we're going to take it.
Now, do you see them winning big? Because, you know, we've made predictions every week on this show from here, and you have had, you know, a lot of blowout predictions. There were games where I say they're going to score that. That's earlier in the year when they were scoring a lot of points, John. Are you confident that this offense could get healthy today? And I know even if they win big, people will say, big deal, they beat the Miami Dolphins. To me, it doesn't matter. You win the game and cover the number. That helps, too, if you're gambling. But, you know, after the game, if they go out there and win, you're going to hear the people, well, big deal, they beat a team they were supposed to beat. That doesn't matter at this point. You've got to win the games you're supposed to win.
Absolutely. The goal is to get the 9 wins, right? 9 wins get us in, win the division, beat Dallas on the 22nd. So, you know, I think as long as we keep Fitzpatrick under the 4 touchdowns he threw against us last year for Tampa Bay, you know, we win by 2 touchdowns, you know, and it's yeah, you know, I'm a little concerned with Ertz, you know, being questionable, but somebody else has to catch the ball. And I'll tell you, last week our conversation was great. We talked about maybe activating somebody like Greg Ward, and why haven't we, you know, brought in somebody that could fly. You know, he comes in, he has 6 receptions, and I mean, they got to do something. And what they were doing before wasn't working. But I think that you run the ball, the offensive line looks, you know, a little bit better today with a couple guys activated. And I actually think that you know, Miami has hung it up. You know, they go out and play hard, but they're not. I don't think they're going to, you know, see. They're thin. Their offensive line is thin. You know, RD has to give us great field position, and we got to punch the ball in.
So, John, I think everybody.
Can't play any worse than he has.
Yeah, I think everybody's here is expecting a win from the Eagles, but it's also got to be sort of the start of getting back on track offensively. And how do you do that without Jordan Howard for a 3rd consecutive game? You mentioned the hamstring issues with Zach Ertz. Who do you expect? Jay Ajayi going back to South Florida, perhaps a little bit of a revenge game. Who do you expect to make those plays on the offensive side of the football?
Well, look, we haven't had a complete game all year. I don't remember one game all year where we've had good special teams play, you know, great day and great offensive play together. Okay, we need the whole team. We need some kick returns. We need, you know, a couple fumbles. We need Graham, you know, free up a ball. You know, we need to put ourselves in a position to get a lead. And then I think we just run the team, run everybody, just run every Goddard across the middle. You know, whatever receiver we're throwing the ball to, throw the ball. It's amazing. Other teams, you know, you pick a rookie up, you put him in a lineup. Next thing you know, he's you know, in the All-Star game. We don't have that. It seems like the one thing. I'm a diehard fan. It seems like the one thing the Eagles, the Phillies, and even the Flyers have never done. Just never had a draft pick just become the number 1 guy in the league. You know, you got to run him back out of Penn. You got to run him back out of Penn State that had about 3 games in a row doing well. Just feed him the ball, throw him the ball, let him go.
Johnny Doc giving us the most obvious ways of winning this game. I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here. I want to ask John a question.
Wait, you a Debbie Downer?
Yeah, I know. It's a tradition unlike any other here. I just want to I want to ask him just one question. Is there any way can you see the Eagles falling asleep at the wheel at this game and by any way, shape, or form handing the Dolphins a win? I mean, could it possibly happen where they just go in there and just completely overlook this team and Carson goes out there, turns the ball over 3-4 times again?
Oh, well, let me put it that wouldn't be that they're overlooking. That would be that we just stink.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. because again,
and that would be that including myself, we just severely overrated everybody. That you know that the offensive line, instead of giving Lane Johnson and all these people $72 million, okay, and all these extended contracts, that then we have to rework the whole system. Because if we can't beat Miami, we can't beat the Giants, we can't beat the Redskins. Okay, that we're not the team that I think we are, and most of the other people think we are. And it's time to revamp the team there. I think everybody, Howie Roseman, we gave him a ton of credit, but I do think, that we overrated the D-backs, the depth, some of the skill positions. We had this team in the Super Bowl. We said this team, it was as deep as any team in the league. We get a couple injuries early on, and we're really not that deep.
Yeah,
We
because
have no speed.
the thing that I was saying is earlier on in the season, we kept hearing about the depth, at all these different positions we have. I didn't see it. I wasn't seeing it. We were being fed all this stuff, right? And then when
I was feeding it to you.
You were feeding it to me, John. I appreciate it. They got me full on a bunch of fodder. But when it came time to show up, that depth really wasn't there. And I'm starting to wonder, is this team really not exactly what we thought they were? And now it's not even a question of talent, it's a question of character.
Yeah, but how much depth does every team have at defensive back when you lose five
No,
guys?
no. Not about the defensive back issue is a different story. That's just
Okay.
injury after injury after injury. I'm talking about on defensive line where we thought these other guys would be able to come in there and start to rotate them in and be able to play at a high level, but they weren't able to do so. Offensive line still struggled again, Tony. And the receivers have been completely non-existent and injury riddled. My thing is that I think right now it's not a question of talent. I think it's a question of character. And this game is a character game for the Philadelphia Eagles. They need to go out there and dominate this football game, not just win the game.
Absolutely.
Dominate the football game.
Well, listen, they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, so there is talent. The question is, like, again, if we get old quick, injuries bang us up, the potential into some of the stuff we were doing, but also, you had Long and Bennett. Okay, this is the type of game where you would have seen Bennett, it looked like he played without shoulder pads. He would have came out, he would have roughed somebody up, he would have probably got a 15-yard penalty early, but he would have had 4 tackles behind the line of scrimmage today. Long would have came in, he would have had 1 sack where he freed a ball. So I don't know, the kid from Florida stayed, a couple of these other guys, they looked out of the box, looked like they had a lot of talent. They did well in the weight room, they did well in preseason, but they haven't been able to wear and tear the season, where the veterans would have. So you're right. So this is a game where everybody, that's why I'm looking. You look at Brendan Graham, you look at Graham, you look at people like that, they got to step it up. It falls down to Wentz, that's not a great. He can't miss a screen pass by 5 yards.
Yep. I got to see him.
Wait a minute, Dak did on Thanksgiving Day and nobody killed him.
No, it was only 4 yards for Dak.
Okay.
It was only 4 yards for Dak. But I got to see Carson play a clean game because he's not going to be under duress like he was last week. I got to see him play a clean game today.
Well, he's playing on grass. He's got it's 83 degrees and no wind at all.
I know. Maybe a little too warm. I hope there's no dehydration situation down there.
There might be. You're going to see some cramping.
Oh, yeah, they'll be cramping down
Give me
there.
another pickle juice game, Tony.
We may have to bring out the pickle juice.
Listen, I could throw a Nerf ball 50 yards in that weather. So
Exactly
I know
right.
these guys get paid for the ball and the money, and the guys got to catch
2 minutes.
All we're asking Alshon Jeffrey to do today, and I'm assuming he's playing, John.
Well, he's supposed to play, but he was supposed to play last week as well.
I just want this. I don't want you to be a superstar, Alshon. Just make the catches that the ball is there, and then just do your job as the great. Remember the great Gus, the Gus Bus? Everybody wanted the Eagles to hire him when he was in Indiana.
Gus Bradley.
Gus Bradley. Remember when it was him or Chip Kelly during that era? The Gus Bus. Get on the Gus Bus. What made him famous? Do your job. Remember, he yelled at his defense. Do your job. That's what the Eagles have to do today. Do their job.
Just be the dependable receiver that we hired you to be. That's
exactly.
It. Don't do anything more than that. Just when the ball comes, be reliable, catch the damn
And
ball.
Nelson Aguilar is going to be back as well. I know people aren't going to be excited about that.
Unlike Aguilar.
However, if you don't have Zach Ertz or he's limited, you're going to really need Alshon and Nelson.
Absolutely.
And the memes have come out, and also the news with
Carson Wentz announcing the birth of his
yeah,
son.
well, they're pregnant.
Maddie and Carson.
It has been confirmed that Nelson Aguilar will not be the midwife at all because he will not be in any way,
drop
shape, or
the
form
baby.
of dropping the baby.
Well, as long as dropping the
Unlike
baby.
Aguilar.
I hope
Yes, John.
Wentz has twin receivers. That's all we need.
Exactly
Wentz has
right.
twin receivers wearing good hands. Hey, by the way, I just want to remind everybody the Prep went out and won again. They won everything yesterday. Yeah, so.
I was going to be shocked if you did not get a St. Joe Prep mention in the broadcast today, John.
Well, Temple and Penn State, a couple good weeks in a row. Even the lost Ohio State was, based on what Ohio State did to Michigan. Penn State played them well.
Absolutely
And
right.
And
Absolutely
Temple goes out
right.
and scores 40-some points, and the Prep wins another state title.
John, I need a prediction today because you always give us the numbers that we want.
34-16.
34-16. You don't see that score very often.
That's a hot one.
But that's one that's easy to remember. How many people are going to say?
I'm never giving you a 21-10. You should know that by now.
I know that. That's why we love having you make the predictions. The great John Dock, Philly's biggest fan. John, have a great rest of the weekend, and go Birds this afternoon in Miami. I'll be sitting at home. I'm going to put my fake palm tree up in the living room, put on my shorts. Maybe I'll put on my banana hammock sit there on my new sectional recliner.
Robin going to get a picture of that?
Yes, we'll have pictures. We'll post them later.
Please, God, no.
Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pretend I'm in Miami. I'll get out my tanning lamp. I'll go all South Beach watching this game at home this afternoon.
Maybe get the weed whacker out first, though.
Oh, yeah, I have to do that, yeah. Johnny, have a great day, man. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
There he is, Philly's biggest fan.
Love talking to John.
Me too. I'm watching Howard Eskin on the field, and it looks like an absolutely gorgeous day.
Let's get the break because of the hard
Speaking
break.
of a gorgeous day,
Let's get
a
the
gorgeous
break.
day in Washington.
Get the break.
We got some talent coming on this bus.
Absolutely.
Man. The place is starting to fill up a little bit.
And
man.
we're going to go live into the crowd as we continue on, heading to noontime. And at noon, of course, we kick it over to Miami. You're down to Miami. Merrill Reese and Mike Quick will be bringing you the Eagles pregame show from noon to kickoff right here on 97.3 ESPN. We take you to noon, and we're coming back with more. I will have the surprise players of the day.
Can't wait, Tony. I need this.
These are the guys. You're going to record it. We're going to play it back. These were the players that will be the impact players for the Eagles today. I have it all figured out. That's coming up next. Tony Bruno, John McMullen, Luigi Curto. Nick is here. We got Brody back in the studio. Miss Robin is rolling around, trolling the crowd. And, of course, the great Joe Krause and Hunter Brody. What's Hunter's middle name?
Matthew.
Braden?
Break.
Matthew.
Break, as in go
Break.
to break.
As in
Matthew.
go to break.
Hunter Brody?
Yeah.
I love that name. Live here
We'd
at
love you to go to
Tolman
break.
Joe's in South Philly, baby, on an Eagles Sunday countdown to kickoff.
Hour number one of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show is fueled
I
by
couldn't
Dunkin'.
hear him.
After the Eagles win, you win with Dunkin'.
This is the radio home of Philadelphia Eagles football. Today, the
Were you
Eagles
yelling, Greg?
look to
Brody?
get
I couldn't
back
hear you.
on track in Miami against the
I was at one point,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I tried to.
Because we have Steve Merrill on the other side in the hard break.
Okay. No, I knew we
gonna
were
call
getting
him
close.
now.
I just couldn't hear.
No, I got you. That was funny, though.
What's your middle name, though?
This is
It's actually Matthew, if you were interested.
No, but no, I heard John McMullen earlier calling you Hunter something.
I said Hunter Break.
No, not there earlier in the day. When I-
Hunter Hurst.
Hunter Hurst?
The wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Hunter Hurst.
It's College Game Day, Football Sunday Plus
I've
Monday Night
given
Football,
Hunter a
and
lot of
special
middle names
live
today. I
NFL
apologize.
Countdown to Kickoff show.
I
with
thought
the
you had
Tony
his real
Bruno
middle
Show
name and mentioned
every
it earlier.
Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Get the daily specials on Facebook and find your way to Screwball Sports Bar and Grill in King of Prussia. Screwballs, where sports people go to watch the game.
Something good to know from First Bank of Sea Isle City. We have all of today's innovative banking products just like the big banks, but we offer something they
Rutgers
can't.
is back.
A personal community
Who
focus.
do they hire?
Let's get you
Greg
started with
Schiano.
Bill
He
Pay.
took the
You
deal.
save
He
time
said-
when you pay your
8-year
bills
deal.
online. It's
8
fast,
years.
easy, and
Did they
convenient.
not- did they
First
throw in
Bank
the
of
private
Sea
jet?
Isle City,
I don't know.
a community
They threw in
bank
the
that
jet
delivers
and took
more
the
for you
deal,
every
I
day.
think.
Personal service, today's technology from the people who truly care. Learn more
that
at
official now, breaking news?
firstbankseaisle.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hunter, how much
Come
time
to the
will
Home
we come
Depot
back?
and you'll still get Black Friday savings. of
we
up to
will have
40% on
about
appliance special buys.
5
Why
minutes.
Stop there. You'll also get a
We
gotta
do
do
have
Steve
Steve
Merrill.
on hold. He is
Yeah,
ready.
you got Steve Merrill there, so
Any
Tony's
Samsung
going to get
top
right
load
to
home
him,
repair.
okay?
If you're
Yeah,
ready
we're
to
gonna.
clean up on
Do you want me to
Samsung
come in with
One,
the audio
the
drop
only
of the
place
Eagles?
No,
or
let's
no?
kill it so
Is
Tony can
here.
get right to him because
Black
it's going to
Friday
be a short,
savings, still going
quick
strong
segment.
at the
Okay,
Home
cool.
Depot.
Then I'll just play
More
music.
savings.
And
Tony, you
we'll
have
roll right into 'em.
Steve,
Give us
Pro
only by
Sports
Alaska
Info.
Extra
right?
Electricity Store for details, valid through December 5th.
What do you call a truly great beer that's brewed with more taste? Only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs? We call it Miller Lite. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold
1 minute. 1 minute.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis 12 fluid ounces, less than 1 gram protein and 0 grams fat.
Using an overpriced trash bag?
Pricey, pricey, pricey!
A bag that breaks?
Whippy, whippy, whippy!
Or a smelly bag?
Stinky, stinky, stinky!
Time to switch to hefty, ultra-strong trash bags, always at an ultra-low price.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
They're our best bags yet, and they cost less than Glad Force Flex, where sold head-to-head. So you'll be
30 seconds.
Hefty Ultra Strong with Arm & Hammer odor control. Also available in heavy-duty black bags.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
A new law helps survivors of childhood sexual abuse take
Hey,
legal
Tony.
action.
Yo.
Jeff Anderson.
Make sure you go right to Steve because we're very limited for the hard break.
Visit itstimenojersey.com or call confidentially today.
Probably around 4.5, 5 minutes.
Phillipsburg, New Jersey, 08865.
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to
8
Kickoff
seconds. Here we go.
Show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your authentic Tony Bruno Eagles game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Live here at Tollman Joe's, crowd filing in. We're getting ready to get the bus trip situation all straightened out. But before we do, let's go to our man Steve Merrill at ProSportsInfo.com for the latest numbers. The line has been moving 10.5. Is this going to go higher, Steve, before this thing kicks off in a couple of hours, right after 1 o'clock down in South Beach?
Yeah, it looks like the line has crossed a lot of key numbers here. Obviously, 10 is a very key number. About 4 to 5% of the times, NFL favorites win by exactly 10 points. This line actually was as low as 7.5 for the look-ahead line last week. And last Sunday when it opened briefly, 7.5. A lot of other spots opened 8, -9. But no matter what, it's gone higher this week. It was sitting -10 yesterday, but as of this morning, it's now 10.5. So really no value left with the Eagles, but there has been quite a line move over the past week on Philadelphia.
Now, as you look at this, obviously all the numbers favor the Eagles. I mean, Miami can't run, they can't throw. Actually, their quarterback is their most scary weapon. He can run the football, he can score touchdowns running the football, he can throw passes if you let him loose. And so I think that's probably the biggest concern for the Eagles is Fitzpatrick. I mean, he could do some damage if you can't contain him.
And he also scores very high on the Wonderlic and the SATs, right?
Exactly.
One of the highest, most intelligent quarterbacks in NFL history, but he's been kind of a journeyman. Although, like you said, I mean, he's got several hundred career touchdown passes. He's been on multiple teams. So he's not going to necessarily lose the game for you. He can maintain. The problem is the Dolphins have no weapons, a terrible offensive line. And what's interesting is if you look at Miami, they do have 2 wins on the season, which is surprising because everybody thought this would be one of the worst teams in recent history. And they're actually 2 games better than the worst team right now, the Bengals. With that said, though, they've still gotten blown out by a lot of decent teams this year. Back-to-back 17-point losses the past 2 weeks. And then you look at Philadelphia, the other side of the coin, they've only been a favorite twice in their last 7 games, and they covered both of those. So I think that's one of the reasons we've seen this line rise higher all week, as it definitely has a blowout factor.
Now, Steve, you bring up an interesting perspective there. The Dolphins, I mean, in theory, around the league, people look at him trading Minkah Fitzpatrick, players like Laramie Tunsil. The tank word has come to the NFL. How difficult has it made it from judging the Dolphins from a handicapping perspective when you look at an organization that is as least talented as they are?
It's interesting because the first 4 games of the season, Miami not only went 0-4 straight up, but they went 0-4 against the spread. And everybody knew coming in that they were going to be one of the worst teams in recent history, and they still went 0-4 against the number. So you knew at some point they'd have to start exploiting that line. And then they went on a monster spread streak where they covered for a month straight. And it looks like that's come to an end, though. As I mentioned, after 5 straight covers going into a couple weeks ago, they've now gone 0-2 straight up in ATS, and they've lost by 17 in each of those games the past 2 weeks. I think the only thing you hope for with Miami is obviously a backdoor cover. I don't like to take teams and hope that they stay within the number. The other thing you look for maybe is a flat spot for the favorite, but I don't think that applies here. Obviously, the Eagles coming off back-to-back losses should be fully motivated here. They're still in the playoff race despite being 5-6, and I think they realize that.
Great, Steve Merrill. You can get the information on all the games right now. ProSportsInfo.com, not just the Eagles game, but Baltimore, San Francisco, Chiefs, Oakland, some big games today. Packers at the Giants. Not a big game for the Pack, of course, up there at the Meadowlands. Steve,
30
always
seconds.
Good to talk to you, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Tony.
Meanwhile, we will have the keys to the game. I'll have the keys to my car if I can find them. I think Robin lost them outside.
I think the fob's right over there.
Is the fob over there? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
As long as I have the keys to the car, we already have the keys to the game.
Right.
And that's
15
coming up
seconds.
in the next hour as we go into hour number 2. We will break the game down to levels
10,
never before seen or
9,
heard. We will hear
8,
from the crowd heading
7,
in 2 weeks from today
6,
to Washington,
5,
D.C. All still ahead
4,
live at Tollman Joe's
3,
here on 97.3 ESPN.
1.
All guests appear on the Carson Burger Hotline, sponsored by the Wycombe Public
That
House.
was
Order
professional.
That's how you get out. That's
That
how
was
you get out.
professional grade talking to the post.
Yes, it was.
That was.
That was Ghost to the
Hunter,
Post.
that was a clinic right there. I think you should save that.
Hey,
And then anytime
before
somebody says,
raise-
how do I do this where I have to worry about counting down
That's
to
why
a
The
hard
audience
out?
can still hear us, right? Here?
Yeah, that was
We're
perfect.
still live to everybody here.
That's the legendary Tony Bruno.
I want to remind everybody that's here at
I hit it pretty good 2
Toll
weeks
Man
ago,
Joe's.
but not as good as that, though.
Can you guys hear me? I
No,
can't-
they're not. They're
No,
not
they
on.
can't. I can't hear you on the PA.
Is the PA on?
Is the PA on?
No, it might be now. I don't know.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
No, it's not.
Can you hear me now? Yo. Joe, Hunter's calling you.
Yes, sir.
We want Gil on this segment.
No one shows up.
You want
Maybe
Mike Gill?
They do show up, but they perform
No,
shoddy
push him to
work and leave you
14.
still wondering
Push him
if
out.
your roof
Push
is
him
going
coming
to
out of the
withstand
break. I got to
next
get
storm.
some
Through
bus.
state-of-the-art digital
I got to
analysis.
get some
Okay, so
Now,
general
who are the- all these
conversation.
other ladies
We'll do a
that are
whole
coming in
segment
and
and we'll get him on the
I think
other
there's
side.
a bridal shower of some sort
In the
going
back?
on. Yeah, no, there's
200 plus.
Yeah, 200 plus something going on in the back.
in the back. There's a back place.
There's
There's
that back.
the barn.
That bar.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the mimosas, and see, there's more ladies coming in right
A
now.
lot of cool
There we
mods.
go.
Always love more ladies.
A lot of cool
Yeah.
mods in here
Love the
today.
ladies.
Hey, yo. Hey,
You know, we
how
got a
doing?
bus, right? I'm just saying.
I got a separate bus trip
I'm just
going
exactly
in a couple of,
right.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I
Tony,
got
I gotta accept the bus as an accept this
here
invitation.
to join the conversation via twitch.tv.
I know,
If they're-
Rob, but I'm axing them.
I know.
Axing them.
Everybody's sitting here.
Oh, the rain is coming
Tony,
down.
I got
boring.
I got to accept the bus as an accept this invitation.
Oh. You know, the most
Conrad in
dangerous place
Vegas-
to be in Philadelphia this time of the year is
Frankfurt
on a
Terminal.
SEPTA bus.
Yeah, exactly.
You see yesterday, a guy gets off the bus at Tioga and gets shot.
And another woman
And then
got
a
shot
woman
at the
gets
same
off
time
the
here.
same bus, gets shot.
That's Tioga. What do you expect?
Tony, D. Conrad in Vegas has a very tense show this
Not
morning.
very tense.
How's
We're
it
having
tense?
fun
We're having a
here.
great time.
Tense.
He's saying it's tense.
Tense.
tense
We got
here.
a barn. We got overhang, but we don't
We
have
got
any tense.
Fun. We had the
Mimosas,
Philly
we got
Godfather
buses.
coming up. We're having fun. Colin Thompson a little subdued. He must have been driving. He was focusing on
I
the
think I heard a yawn. I think I heard a yawn.
I think he was drinking.
You think he was drinking last night?
God, it's
Well-
raining hard now. Look at this.
Looks like I'm not getting my
No,
run.
he's in training, actually.
He is. Yeah, there's a lot of cool mods.
Yeah, he's probably in training. You know, I mean, he's in pretty good shape anyway,
Yeah.
but probably a little bit more intense
Yeah,
than
he
normal.
amped it up, yeah.
So he's probably just exhausted.
Who does a bridal shower at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning?
That's when you do them.
Yeah.
That's exactly when you do them.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Bachelor parties are at night. You
But
know,
the
where
no, no, no.
But the bachelorette parties.
No,
are,
no. That's not a bachelorette. The bridal shower where they give the gifts. They don't
Oh,
do that
they're
during the
great,
bachelorette
Brody.
party.
Oh,
the
you're
bridal
right.
shower is like
Yes.
when everyone gives
It's
the
a little
gifts.
bit more subdued.
Correct. But there was one guy that I saw back there. I don't know if he's the husband, the be, or just like some random like homosexual.
Maybe he was a stripper.
Why does he have to be gay to be able
Because
to be
most
part of it?
strippers who do women's
No.
things are gay dudes.
No, this guy was probably the worst.
They're
looking
all
stripper
buff,
I've seen in my
right?
life.
That's not a.
That wasn't him though.
That wasn't a rip.
No,
That's
this
a
guy
fact.
looked- this guy
That's
guy looked terrible.
Not
I'm
that
saying
there's
that.
anything wrong with
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
Come
that
on, Luigi.
no, he had that demeanor about him, and that's okay. Not there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying,
Not
but that's
that there's
usually.
anything. There
But,
it
you know,
is.
maybe-
There it is.
But that's
Maybe-
usually the kind of type that comes to the bachelorette party.
Maybe
I mean,
he's the
the
bride's
bridal
best
shower,
friend.
the bridal shower.
Not that there's anything wrong.
I had that. One of my best friends is gay, so he came to my bridal shower.
Hey, some of my
There
best
you
friends
go.
are gay too.
Yeah.
By the way, 91 Sixers checks in and says, I noticed Tony doesn't yell damn it to anyone at the remote, probably because they'd backhand him off his chair, unlike Robin. Are you kidding? I yell damn it to everybody.
You may
True.
Damn it.
How many times we've gone to blows?
Me.
Yeah. Associates and attorney.
Oh, you know that place,
We're
Angelo's
gonna have
Pizza,
the
the
lead
one
right
down at Fitzwater? What street is down there in Fitzwater?
Yeah, Fitzwater
like
and
9th and
9th.
Fitzwater.
Somebody
You know-
gets shot?
No. That's the one that the guy from Barstool guy, Presidente,
Yeah,
went
yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
You know what one of their pizzas on the menu is, Luigi?
What's that?
What's one of the pizzas?
I can't
Angelo's
remember-
Pizza?
No. I have
Not
to
the
find
one
it
up
now.
in King of Prussia, the one down in Fitzwater.
Tacanelli's?
No.
No,
there's an actual
it's
pizza.
an Italian name.
Here we go.
Play the Lou Ready cut after this.
Live on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Give goes to Peterson. He is stacked up for a walk.
From Tolman Joe's, 26 East Oregon Avenue in the heart of South Philly. Presented by IBEW Local 98. Powered by Martin Law and fueled by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
He is hit. He stumbles. He's down. And the Eagles take over.
Now, it's Eagles game day and time for the Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno.
We ready. For who?
For y'all.
For y'all. Come on, come on.
I say y'all now that I got back from Texas.
Well, you got to.
You got to.
Especially when a woman says y'all, there's nothing better.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, I know.
We're live here at Toll Man Joe's. Not only do we have the bus crew here, but we have a large contingent of women who are walking back for a Sunday morning bridal shower.
A lot of mimosas.
A lot of mimosas in hand. A lot of cool mods in the building.
Right. No, we don't think it's a gender reveal. There's some people saying it might be a gender
No,
reveal
there's
party,
no
but it's not a
gender
gender
reveal.
reveal party, no.
We'll be doing a gender reveal show, I think, Thursday night at Screwballs, but that's a different.
that's
we're
a gender-
teasing that, yes.
Tony, speaking of gourmands and Italian lingo, the Angelo's pizza that you were talking about that has the menu, on their menu they have a pizza called Scucciaman.
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 That's awesome.
Is that great or what?
That's awesome.
Which
what
means,
does it have on it, the Scucciaman
yeah.
pizza?
Now, first you have to say what it means.
Luigi knows what it means. Scucciaman means pain in the neck.
Exactly.
You're
Well,
a
no,
pain in
it's
the ass.
pain in the ass,
yeah,
right?
right. We want to keep it clean. There's children here.
And knowing that it means pain in the ass, what it has on it is roasted long hots, hot sausage, red onion topped with Mike's hot and honey post bake.
Fanogula go see if you eat one of those things, man. You kidding me?
So it will be a pain in the ass later.
Oh, man. I could.
Crumb creep coward. Exactly. All right, let's get it back to the show here. We got an Eagles game coming up, Robin.
And
We're not talking pizza here.
Joe's over there itching because he's got the vibe of the room right next
Yes,
to him.
he
He's got
does.
all those Washington bus people just waiting, lurking over top of his shoulder.
He looks like a SEPTA guy waiting for the bus to board at Broad
He
and
looks
Tioga.
happy. Joe
Yeah.
looks happy right now.
Joe, are you happy and you know it?
I can't actually believe it, but because Robin brought that up, I actually have to bring the name Colin Kaepernick into the show.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Because he is a pain in the ass.
Ah.
So that pizza right there is all about Colin Kaepernick. So could we finally remove Colin Kaepernick from ever mentioning him ever again on this radio show?
Well, you know the good
Well,
news is
yes.
at that workout that he had a week ago, nobody contacted him, but one of the receivers he was throwing to the ball to got signed by an NFL team.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
so
a good thing, right?
It worked out. He went to Alcatraz the other day on Thanksgiving. Did you see
They let
that?
him out?
No, he went there. He and Elizabeth weren't there to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day.
That's nice.
At Alcatraz. Anyway, enough about that. We got Eagles Miami coming up. We'll go to the Eagles show with Mike and Merrill at the top of the hour at noon. Still ahead this hour, Mike Gill's going to join us.
Mm-hmm.
The Philly Godfather is going to join us.
gonna
But now
fire.
he's going to fire today. And by the way,
I'm going to get fired.
we go over to Joe Krause now because he has some special guests, people who are going to get on the bus. They're locked and loaded. Now, are you getting? Do you have like a seating chart like they have on an airplane when you log in and you can get a window or
That
an
was
aisle?
my question. If you get here early enough, can you select your seat like a row, like you want to get an aisle seat or a window seat?
Guys, 14 days left until we get there. Don't want to get everything covered until we get to the 15th. But we will do the seating chart
I love
on the
seating chart.
morning before the
Look
on the
at the
morning
ch-
of the
oh, I like
departure.
it.
We will do that.
Yeah, we don't want any Southwest things where it may be raining or snowing and then you got people standing in the A line and the B line and the C line.
If anybody,
we got to get Zone A, Krause.
Exactly
Zone
right.
A.
and if you want a window, zone 1, so come see me. All right, I'll
You
take
can
care
pay a
of it.
little extra. If you give Luigi a couple extra bucks, he may be able to get you that seat you've been dreaming about on the
$5
bus.
will let you drive the bus. What are you talking about?
Now, Joe, we have some great people here. We see a lot of familiar faces, people who come out to all of our other great remotes, whether it's here at Toll Man Joe's on Sunday or Monday nights at Landmark in Glassboro, Thursday night at Screwballs up there in King of Prussia. What do you have for us now, Joe?
Tony, I want everybody here at here at Toll Man Joe's to meet.
There's a lot of Screwballs here at Toll Man Joe, yes.
But if you'll remember a few weeks back, Tony, we threw out the Carson Burger. Where is the Carson Burger served in the Delaware Valley. And if you remember, our winner, Quincy, was the winner who was able to identify where the Carson Burger, where you can buy a Carson Burger. Quincy, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Nice to have you out here. Now, Tone, Quincy also, once he identified...
Not Quincy Harris from the Q on Fox 29. Not Quincy.
him.
Not
Q.
Quincy. Okay. I love Quincy, man.
Once
My boy.
he identified where the Carson Burger was, or where you can purchase the Carson Burger, which is at the Whitecomb Public House, Quincy then was challenged to go to the Whitecomb Public House.
And have one?
And have one of those burgers, and he had to do it in 48 to 72 hours. So, Quincy, I give you the microphone. Tell me about that Carson Burger. That was your first opportunity to go to Whitecomb. How was it in Whitecomb, sir?
It was a great experience, to be honest with you. I liked the little drive. It took me a little over an hour to get there. But the Carson Burger was fabulous. It was my first time having it, and I'm going to go back and have it again.
Well, you're going to have it on the bus trip as well, Tony, because everybody on the bus will be served a Carson Burger. All food and beverage for our bus trip will be provided at no extra cost.
Yes. No, we're not eating any babies. We're gonna those burgers. We'll say, "Man, I got to eat this baby right here,"
Right.
Because it's bison. That's what it's made out of. Because of Carson Wentz being from South Dakota. So they have it's a bison burger.
It's a leaner meat. It's a leaner meat, but more flavorful, Tom.
I haven't had bison before.
Oh, it's fantastic. Bison's fantastic.
Also in the crowd out here, Tony, we do have one Redskin fan. Benjamin is here. Now, Benjamin's traveling with his father, Sean, but Benjamin is going to be in full Redskin regalia on the bus.
You sign a waiver?
Now, wait. So his dad's wearing a Jeremiah Trotter throwback, right? That's a Jeremiah Trotter number 54.
The Axeman.
And his son is wearing a Washington Reds. What happened? Where's the parenting?
I have a jersey for him. I have a signed. If he's a real Redskins, I have a signed Santana Moss Redskins jersey with tags on it. I will bring it and give it to you.
Whoa.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, Luigi.
Wow,
How about that?
Luigi, that's huge. That's good stuff.
No problem.
That's great stuff
No
right
problem.
there.
I can't take any responsibility for what happens to this kid on the bus and afterwards, but I will give him the jerseys on me.
I think it shows character for somebody that young.
Yes.
To stick with a team that bad.
Now,
Shows
Sean, I got to
tremendous
ask you, Sean,
Character
because
or huevos.
Sean, I got to ask you this because, as I said, and then Tom Brady stole my line. When you come out of the womb in Philadelphia, you hate the Cowboys. Tom Brady said the same thing. He grew up in the Bay Area. When he came out of the room, he hated the Cowboys, and that's a sports hate. We don't really hate. We love when they lose. So there's really not a lot of hate. But Sean, you're an Eagle fan. Your son's a Redskin fan. What went wrong in the parenting process in your particular household?
Well, Tony, we're not really sure about that, to be honest, other than he's a teenage boy and likes to buck the system.
Yeah, but if you're going to buck the system, why would you? Because how old is he now?
He's turning 15 5 days
15.
before the game.
The Redskins haven't been good for decades. How do you jump on that bandwagon? I can see being a Patriot fan or even a Cowboy fan.
Who's his favorite Redskin of all time? Jason Campbell?
Exactly.
Seriously.
I mean, come on, man. How did that happen?
I really don't know. His favorite player is Robert Griffin III, so he's already
There
gone
we
as
go.
well.
That was the 1 year.
That was the one
year.
We could all blame Shanahan for that one, or else he'd still be out there tormenting everybody.
Well, and of course, when we depart at 9 o'clock, we'll have 3 hours to try and get the message out of Benjamin. Good stuff, Benjamin.
Well, maybe he can explain himself why he...
Benjamin, you want to jump on the microphone?
I think he's playing Fortnite right now. He's not really interested. No, I'm kidding. Benjamin, why? That's the only question. One word.
Ever since I was 5, I just stuck with it. I heard the name,
I
and I just
respect
loved
that.
it after that.
I
just
respect
loved
that.
it. I don't know why. I always asked for Christmas for Redskins stuff, Redskins memorabilia and all that, and I've just stuck with it.
This kid's breaking my heart.
It's great.
I love it. I think it shows character.
It does.
I
Think a
agree.
team stick
I think
with
it
a
shows
team.
terrible parenting and horrible
Do you
leadership in
realize-
the household. That's what I think it shows.
No, not really. No, because most of the young kids who are like Cowboy fans, because their parents,
because
they were watching the Cowboys when they were good. But then again, that was 25 years ago. So I mean, you got to be like 40 now to remember the
Now,
Cowboys
Tony,
being good.
If there was any opportunity for a turnaround, Luigi just killed that.
Exactly.
Because he's giving him a Santana Moss signed jersey. Now he is forever going to be
He
a
could
Red
sell
Sox.
it and get something worth something out of it.
Luigi, that's huge. That's big stuff by you.
course.
Well done by
It
you.
is.
Thank you. I knew when you moved up to the chair up on the stage.
Away
out
from the
here.
kiddie seat table.
Well done. Nice job.
I missed the kiddie table. There's plenty of leg room at the kiddie
That's
table.
a good contribution. John, another one of our travelers, Tony, on the bus. John, you had you want to chirp Benjamin, or you have a question for Benjamin? All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I got a question for the young boy. What school did
He's a
RG3
young man
go
now.
to?
Come on, not a young boy. He's a young man. Which school?
What was
did
the
he-
question? Wait a minute. What was the question?
What school did RG3 go to college?
It rhymes with Taylor.
2 minutes.
He knows who it is, right?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And that's why he's a fugazi.
Now, you wait a minute. You're going to start ripping it. You're going to give a kid a jersey. Now you're ripping the kid?
Well, yeah, that's how it works, Tom. You got to get the give a little. You know what I mean?
Anyway, we're having problems with him, wireless Mike. Stop picking on the kid. He's a
I'm
sharp
not-
young man.
I'm not picking on him.
You know, look, listen to the kid. He's sharp. He's not some Cowboy fan, at least. You know, the Washington Redskins stink. We want the, you know, the one thing that's unusual, he will be the only teenager who has a Washington Redskin jersey on at that game when we go down there in a couple of weeks.
Well,
so we're going to come back.
When Daniel Snyder figures out he's still got a fan, he's going to have free
Exactly. Maybe
FedEx
he'll put him in the
for
box.
life. Free FedEx for life.
Daniel Snyder will see him coming off the bus and say, hey, why don't you come up to my
We
suite?
got one fan in the stands. We got one guy here. Let's get him up. He might be the only Redskin fan in attendance that day.
All right, now we're going to take a break. Yes, Joe.
We are going to give Benjamin choice of the seats on the bus because of his conviction. John
Yes.
McMullen likes his conviction.
Yes.
We like that. We'll give Benjamin and his father, Sean, choice of the seats. So as I start to fill in that seating chart leading up to the 15th, Sean and Benjamin, nice job. Well done, Sean. Good job on the radio. Well done. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a great trip.
I'm looking for. I can't wait.
Even money says his dad don't even sit next to him on the bus. Get down there.
All right. We're going to come back. I still have to give you
It's a
my
good sport.
keys to the game. I'll give you a hint. Who will have a big game for the Philadelphia Eagles today? Just think about last week. Who was the guy that was the standout performer that we on this show touted to look out for?
Greg Ward.
Greg Ward last week, right? Remember, they just brought him up from the practice squad. There's a guy they just brought up from the practice squad this week that I predict will have a big game. We'll tell you who that is when we come back live here at Toll Man Joe's in South Philly. Raining out there on a Sunday, but the game's in Miami, so it'll be beautiful down there at the Hard Rock Stadium as we are live on 97.3 ESPN, the Philly Godfather. And, of course, Mike Gill will be joining us live, too. All still ahead right here on Countdown to Kickoff on 97.3 ESPN and also on Twitch.tv, Tony Bruno Show. You can watch us and see all the excitement that's going on here in South Philadelphia.
Tone, I got a great tweet I got to read out
Hour
on
number
Twitch.
2 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to
Robin, what did
Kickoff
you do with
show
my
is
phone?
sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. Philly's home is our home. Go to pfcu.com.
No.
Tone.
Yo.
What?
Really?
Oh, it's a drag
Is
queen?
it Cherry Bomb? Is it Cherry Bomb? No, we had the drag. No, remember we had the drag queens on the Tony.
Oh,
remember I
that's
brought them all in.
right.
Jen
Yes.
Cherry Bomb.
Yes.
That was
Oh,
a.
my
that-
Lord.
They were good.
They were incredible. They're not all drag queens. Tone.
That is tremendous drag queen knowledge.
Yes, it is.
Bruno,
I didn't
I have her phone number. No, Bruno's Tank Edge goes. He's a diehard Skins fan, like the Philly guy with the fanatic belly button tat. Ask the kid if he's got an Albert Hainsworth foot stepping on someone.
What's her name?
What is her name? Aunt Mary Pat.
It's packed in back there.
I know,
Wow.
there's got to be 100 women there.
You want to see it back there, man. Just rows and rows.
We may have to send Luigi back there with the wireless.
Absolutely.
There was some talent in that crowd.
Of course.
Unfortunately,
Mary
I don't
Pat.
have a wireless.
Aunt Mary
Camera.
Pat.
What the heck?
Joe needs to get those wireless cameras that I found for him so that we could have Luigi go back there with a camera, too. Damn it. Tony, you had to go. Oh, your phone is being used to cast to one of the screens.
Which screen?
That one
The
over
one
there.
that no one can see?
Exactly.
No,
I need to get a drink.
Everybody's being, all the devices are being used.
So I can't even check Twitter while I'm on here.
You could check it on your tablet.
I have the Twitch stream on there.
You can just switch back and forth.
Aunt Mary Pat.
Where is she from?
Thank
Delco.
you, Jamaica
Oh,
215.
Delaware.
Aunt Mary Pat Di Sabatino. Aunt Mary Pat Di Sabatino. Italian, must be Italian. Yo.
With the roofer, and no one shows
Ejax
up.
2011. Was that here or down there?
LaShawn McCoy, not Deshaun.
I mean, look there.
I need some aqua.
Yeah, Shady.
Digital analysis.
And then don't
Here,
forget
right.
about Mike Gill is on hold right now.
Real-time project communication.
I
and
can
a
get
free
my own, that's
lifetime
fine.
warranty. Every
I appreciate
Surf and
it.
Turf roofing
Shady.
homeowner receives personalized 5-star
Was it here or in
service.
Miami?
The Surf and Turf
That was
roofing team
actually
is an
in
award-winning
Miami.
Platinum preferred contractor,
2011.
a distinction that less than
Beautiful.
1% of roofers carry.
The
Call
second
Surf
clip's
and Turf
hilarious.
Roofing
It's
today
Sam
at
Bradford, the Huff.
609-365-7663.
They didn't play many games.
And schedule your
Oh, so there's,
commitment-free
so
appointment
there was
with
that. Yeah,
one
that
of
was the
our
Sam
certified
Bradford
estimators.
era.
That's
Yeah, but we'll touch that one later.
7663 or
30
visit
seconds.
surfandturfroofing.com.
A new law helps survivors of childhood sexual abuse take legal action.
Boy, Jake
Jeff
Glazer
Anderson and
is so
Associates and attorney
short.
Greg Gianfrancaro can help. Visit itstimennewjersey.com
forget.
or call confidentially today 1-800-ITS-TIME. 80 South Main Street, Phillipsburg, New Jersey 088.
Thank you.
Listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your authentic Tony
Hey,
Bruno
thanks to
Eagles
Mako
Game
215.
jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Second and goal from the 2. McCoy. Touchdown Eagles. 16 touchdowns this year, 13 on the ground for LaShawn McCoy.
Two nice blocks out on the edge. Harriman's able to get a block down, and then Selleck gets the block out, and that immediately creates the crease for McCoy, just needing a couple of yards to punch it through.
Oh, yes, we remember it well. The Sam Bradford era in Philadelphia.
What an era, too.
Shady McCoy.
Great era.
Logging the piggy, and the Todd father himself, and Brent Selleck laying out the blocks, and Shady McCoy in 2011 in Miami as the Eagles win down there. And, of course, we'll have more clips from that era. Sam Bradford is still he's still not employed, right? Nobody signed him.
Right. I did make a prediction last year that did ring true. I said Sam Bradford will finish the season completely healthy.
Yes, he did.
And he did.
Well, we don't know. We didn't check around the house to see what's going on.
I heard he stubbed a toe, but he was day-to-day, but he was able to finish it out.
A man who's always healthy, which is why he shows up every single day, every afternoon on the Sports Bash on 97.3. John McMullen's a frequent guest. He brings in the biggest names. He joins us now from a misty, rainy, miserable Sunday. We're watching live shots at Baltimore. It's really coming down, the rain. It's going to be a slop fest down there with the Niners and the Baltimore Ravens. But Mike Gill joins us right now, somewhere down in the Cape May area. Mike, how are you today, man?
I'm doing well, Tony. I was actually in Baltimore last Sunday. No game there, but I checked out the stadium like the betting guys. I had to get the lay of the land out there.
That's the BB&T, not the BBW Stadium. That's right down the street. It's a small club. But the BB&T, you see it on 95 when
I've been
drive.
there.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I've been there.
No, I mean, obviously, you know, they're an amazing team, and that's going to be a great game. It's going to be a hard day for Red Zone because I have to watch the entire Eagle game. Why is that game a 1 o'clock start? It's an outrage.
You know, that's a good question. They flexed that game last week and pushed the Eagles out of the night game and moved them up. I don't know why they didn't have the foresight to take a look at this one, but you know, you're going to have to do a lot of back and forth flipping there. This Eagles game should be done early enough that you can flip off it, Tony.
Well, I'll be flipping a lot of things off if they don't cover the 10.5. Let me tell you that right now.
You are right about that, boss.
All right, Mike, we've been teasing a lot of the now, last week on this show, we were ridiculed, derided when John McMullen, Colin Thompson, and yours truly, Tony Bruno, broke it down. Because Luigi, I don't think, was all aboard the great Ward bandwagon.
No, I wasn't.
Right? And he came out, Greg Ward, and he was the leading receiver. Today, I'm giving you the name. Write it down. Remember it. This will be the Josh Perkins game.
Who?
Josh Perkins, 6'3", 255-pounder, tight end, wide
He's not
receiver.
255. I'll tell you that right now.
That's what it's listed right here. I can only go with the official stats.
Iverson was listed at 6'1". So.
Exactly.
He will
That's
be
one of
the
those.
8th player that the Eagles have plucked off their practice squad to play. He will play today, and you watch Josh Perkins. People say, who is that guy? And you'll be saying later on, how about that Josh Perkins having an impact for the Eagles just like
Well, it's
last
interesting
week?
because the inactive list does not have Zach Ertz on it, which means Perkins, I'm surprised, is even on the list of active players today, but he is because Ertz is going to go unless they're just going to have him kind of, there as an emergency. But that's the big thing, guys, is everybody is essentially back but Jordan Howard. They're finally at the right time getting healthy and getting everybody back. And as you guys know, this schedule coming up, they got 3 exhibition games really to get ready for the Dallas, and not the exhibition kinds where you just play a play or two and get them out. They get these 3 games to really get it back and going and get ready for that game in Dallas. But, having Ertz out there, I figured they would sit him out, because they're playing the Dolphins. But I guess it shows, look, we're taking every game as serious as we can, and everybody who's available, we're going to get you the reps because we got to get ready for this final 5-game stretch run.
All right, Mike, put on your Philadelphia hat, get a little negative on us. If there's any way possible, what could go wrong in this game? What can the Miami Dolphins do, if anything, to make this more difficult than people expect?
Well, I think it's an easy kind of question to answer. Last week, it was half the crowd, as we do in social media now. Half the crowd thought Wentz was awful and it was his fault, and the other half broke down this tape that everybody's looking at now and saying, well, it was the receivers. Wentz didn't play as bad as it looked. They were hopping and jumping and skipping, and they weren't running the right routes. If they ran the right routes, Wentz doesn't look as bad. So which one is it? If Wentz was the lousy guy that half the people thought, they could lose this game. If he was as bad as those people thought he was last week, again this week, it's going to be hard to score. But if he's the guy that people think that he could be, they can't lose the game. And I can't imagine that he will be anywhere near as poor with his guys back. Alshon Jeffrey back, Aguilar back. Ward, I think, is going to have a bigger role. I think you'll see a bigger role for Arcega-Whiteside. So I think you're going to see a Wentz more I don't know if he's going to be that 2007. He might never be that guy again. I mean, who knows? Why was he so good then? And even when he's really good now, he still doesn't seem like that guy, does he?
We haven't seen him work with a full deck. Some days when they run the ball, they look good. Then they lose their. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, they had that one drive that lasted almost 10 minutes, and then they lose Lane Johnson, and then they couldn't do anything anymore.
Mike, this is Luigi, and I have seen some things. I've seen that he's regressed a little bit in the fact that he's not looking all over the field anymore. He's not surveying the field. It looks like he's just locking in on one receiver. He's becoming like a one-read quarterback all over again, like he was in his rookie year. That's what I'm seeing right now. He's holding on to the ball a little too much, and he's just zeroing in on one guy, and he's not really surveying the field because he's got guys open. He's just not seeing it.
Yeah, and a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that a lot of he doesn't trust a lot of these guys? He doesn't know a lot of these guys. He doesn't work with a lot of these guys because it seemed that there was a time even last week where, all right, Ward's going to catch the ball. I'm going to throw the ball to Ward. And he throws the ball to Ward, and Ward doesn't turn around because how much of those two guys really work together? And then on that last play, it looked like, all right, this is going to Arcega-Whiteside no matter what. And he throws it to Arcega-Whiteside, and Arcega-Whiteside jumps out of the spot that he's supposed to be in. So I think you might be right on that. But, one time, I used to do the show with Barrett Brooks, and he told me a great story about when John Gruden was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He would have the microphone, and he would talk to Bobby Hoying. And he said Hoying was so good those first 4 games because Gruden would tell him, you're going to take 3 steps and throw the ball to this guy, and he's going to be open. Well, as soon as Dana Bible took over as the offensive coordinator, guess what? He wasn't telling Hoying where to throw the ball, and Hoying didn't know what the hell to do with it. So
that's good.
A lot of it
Dana
could be
Bible
the offensive coordinator helping these guys out, and I think that has been a big factor for Wentz with mechanics and all that stuff is DeFilippo and Reich not working with him every day.
I just saw a live shot there warm-ups down in Miami, and Zach Ertz is out on the field catching passes. So he if he has a bad hamstring, he looks like he's moving okay. I mean, he's not running full speed. He's not walking like Joel Embiid was the other night against the Knicks. If he were doing that, walking up the field, then I would worry. but he looks like he's out there warming up. So
we call it walking. He calls it pacing himself.
Exactly.
It's load management.
Well, and
it's
I think Josh Perkins is up in case something goes wrong
Yeah.
with the hamstring in game.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Zach's going to give it a go. But, Mike, Luigi brought up something about Carson being a one-read quarterback. Last week, I think a lot of that had to do with the moving parts on the right side. Lane Johnson out with the concussion.
And Brandon
Brooks with the anxiety, only played one series. All of a sudden, Vitae's at right guard. Then he's got to kick out to right tackle. Matt Pryor comes in. Now you have Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson.
2 minutes.
Back on the right side. How much does that mean for this offense?
I think you can make an argument, as Lane Johnson got that huge extension today, that the Eagles recognize what many of us are starting to. When he's out and you couple that with Brooks, they're just not the same team. I mean, the stats are overwhelmingly showing that they're not the same team when Lane Johnson goes out. I thought it was interesting that Matt Pryor is actually on the inactive list today in the event that something happens on the right side of that line. I mean, you can't anticipate that Brooks is going to go out again, but I thought Pryor did a nice job as opposed to using maybe Vitae in that spot. But I think those two guys, look, with those two guys back, you can make an argument. If Lane Johnson played the rest of the Patriots game, and they might have won last week in spite of how inept they were offensively, 20-17. They scored 19 points in the last 2 weeks with Lane Johnson out. I would have to think that they could score more than 20 today with him in, and getting him back is probably, of all these guys, the biggest key out there.
No doubt about it. And the other stat that nobody's talking about is that who has the most touchdown catches this year among the Philadelphia Eagles pass catchers? Dallas Goedert has 4 touchdown catches this year. That leads the team. And he hasn't even really had what you would consider a great season. He has 31 catches for 289 yards.
There is no playmakers, and that's been the issue with Carson Wentz.
Exactly.
It's been the supporting cast around him.
I would make the case that if Deshaun Jackson played the way he did in Week 1 and was here all year, this Carson Wentz talk would probably not even be anywhere remotely on the table. That guy would have made Wentz in the MVP conversation, not in the regression conversation.
I agree.
Right, but he's not here, and now it's time for guys who were in the MVP discussion just a few years ago without Deshaun Jackson to step up and play like an MVP because he can do it, because he's shown that he has been able to do it in the past.
But you know what? The bottom line, guys, as we go to break and get the Philly Godfather coming up next, no matter what Carson Wentz does today, he could throw 5 touchdown passes, and there will still be that crew of fans in this city, alleged fans, who will say, yeah, but it's the Miami Dolphins. You're supposed to throw 5 touchdown passes against them.
That's right.
I'm playing him in fantasy this week. If he throws 5 touchdown passes, I'm going crazy. Are you kidding me?
Mike, real quick, what's your score?
Yeah, and in perfect Phillies fashion, Bruno, you know what's going to happen. Eagles 30, Dolphins 3. They're back. We all love them again.
Yeah, baby. Start the bus. Well, that'll be 2 weeks from today, baby, when the Eagles are 2 games ahead of the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. And that Cowboy game here will mean absolutely nothing. That's the scenario we want to see.
Squad douche, Tony. Squad douche.
Hey, Mike, good to talk to you. Thanks for popping in. We got a break.
All right, guys.
We're coming back.
Take care.
The Philly Godfather is going to join us next. Is he ready to fire?
Sure he is.
Damn right he is. That's all coming up next. We're live here at Toll Man Joe's, South Philadelphia, rainy Sunday. Eagles enjoying the sunshine with about 30,000 fans on South Beach down there for an Eagle takeover at Hard Rock Stadium. As we come back live on 97.3 ESPN and, of course, on Twitch.tv. Tony Bruno Show, baby!
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff Show,
Dallas, I was
presented
taint
by
that field, and I did it, Tony. Since I've been back from Dallas, they're 0-2, brother.
Did you go down and do the Ole Miss wide receiver thing and like lift your leg up and pee on the star at least? Pretend you were peeing on the star?
No, I literally took my hand and wiped it on my sack and rubbed it in the end zone.
Tony, speaking of peeing on something.
You got to take a piss?
No. On Twitter, there is a picture of Cam Sutton wearing a sweatshirt.
Who?
It's the Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, the receiver for Ole Miss.
Yeah, and the Pittsburgh Steelers pissing on a Cleveland Browns player.
There's your inactives, Tony.
There we go.
Sut Belt, Sidney Jones, Jordan Howard. Sharif Miller, Nate Herbig, Matt Pryor, Deshaun Hall.
How are they going to win without that? So that's the drag queen there, right? The guy standing up there at the bar with the hat on.
Yeah, the black shirt
Yeah.
and the black cap.
When you listen to 97.3 ESPN FM, you're tuning into living a healthier lifestyle.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's what Nick said.
I mean, okay, so I know a lot of drag queens.
So do I.
Normally, it takes them a
I don't have a lot of drag queen knowledge.
Oh,
I gotta be honest.
I'm a theater person, so trust me.
Robin knows a lot of drama queens, too.
Normally, it takes them
Well, we got
quite
Luigi
a
here
long
as a drama.
It takes them a long time to get into makeup. If he's
Yeah.
going to be performing for them, I can't imagine
I
that
think he's not to open the show. It's probably an opening act. You know who I had a chance to go see last night to show you how shot I was? I didn't go see my buddy
I know.
and my gal.
Yeah, you didn't go see Don Herrera because he was at Helium last
I
night.
know, he's here every year.
Yeah.
We
were
saw him last
invited
year. And you know who else? Who opens for him, Robin? Another Philly great.
Cosby?
No.
They have a live remote in the cell phone.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her name.
Come on, Robin.
Not Eileen.
They've been putting the pudding bop in my. Sorry, no.
Why am I blanking?
Oh yeah.
But you're right though, Robin. If he's got to get in the track, he needs to do a hell of a.
I
He needs a
know.
lot more time than
No,
that.
he already has. I think he has the foundation on.
No,
already.
he didn't. He just
Yeah,
looked
I just
normal.
saw him.
Oh, okay.
It's all about a strong foundation. We had the best in the city at our show. It is tasteful, brother. I'm telling you, man. If you've never been to a burlesque show, it's amazing. You don't know entertainment, then, man.
I'm not going.
No, I'm not going. All you know is 70s rock. You're living in the past, man. Nah, Nick, I tell you what, though, it is crazy.
You are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
You're a crumb creep coward.
A real crumb bum.
Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your
Are we coming
authentic
back?
Tony
Yeah.
Bruno Eagles
I'll give
game
it a-
jersey. Presented by Martin
there.
Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Get money, yo.
My man, what's up, brother?
Get money, yo.
What you got, Father? Give you a call back in a little bit.
East Coast, Philadelphia, born and raised. In the streets is where I spent most of my
Yeah.
days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing out.
He was firing yesterday all day. I saw him on Twitter. I wasn't even watching college football, with all due respect. But I know one thing. If I was going to bet this weekend on college football, there was only one game to bet, and that was your Ohio State Buckeyes. You just said it.
I thought
and
you were going to go
forget it.
Temple, UConn.
Nah, I don't pay attention to that. UConn? Temple should have destroyed them, but they found a way to win. That's all that matters. The Philly Godfather joins us right now. He was firing yesterday all over the place with college football. Did you take any? I know you took a lot of other teams besides Ohio State. Was that not the lock of the year? Was that not the bet, the mortgage, the second mortgage, the kids' tuition game of the year?
Actually, the biggest bet for me yesterday was the Duke Blue Devils +9 and +310 on the money line, and they win the game outright against Miami.
Outright.
The Miami Hurricanes, man. They're not good. Duke? Did they bring what's-his-name back for a couple more games after he left
There's
to the
Daniel
Giants?
Jones. How about that?
Daniel
timing?
Jones, was he there yesterday?
We didn't need him. His presence was there. That's all we needed.
Yeah, his
so.
presence will not be there this afternoon when the New York Giants take on the Green Bay Packers. But let's get to this Eagles game because obviously this is the game everybody knows. The question is, will they cover? We know the Eagles are going to win. I mean, if you haven't used the Eagles in your suicide pool this year, is this not the game to use the Eagles in your suicide pool?
I mean, you have to. Oddsmakers Offshore opened the Eagles as 9-point favorites, and the combined total was set at 46.5. And we immediately saw some sharp money hit the screen on Doug Peterson's team here, which forced the books to move this line to as high as 10.5 over the key number 10. But surprisingly, the total has dropped 2 points down to 44.5. And this is actually the perfect matchup for a team like the Eagles who's been struggling on offense. I mean, the Dolphins' defensive metrics, some of the worst in the NFL. I think they're ranked 29th in the league in overall defensive efficiency, 32nd against the run, and 28th against the pass. So the Eagles should be able to take full advantage and move the ball at will on this team. And on the defensive side of the ball, the Eagles are playing some great football, and finally are looking healthy in their pass defense over recent plays. I think number 1 and number 2 overall in opponent yards per pass attempt and opponent yards per play. So this is a great opportunity for the Eagles to actually win a game, outperform the market, and show the world that they actually still have a shot at making the playoffs because they control their own destiny. And if they can beat the Cowboys at the last game of the season, they're going to get in the playoffs. So this is a game where they really got to pour it on, Tony.
All right, Philly Godfather, as an homage to our friend Colin Thompson, who is heading south as we speak to start his XFL career. Any prop bets you like in this game today, Eagles-Dolphins?
I mean, if you want to go over in Wentz's passing yards against that horrible defense, I forget what the number is. It might have been 241.5 or I forget the exact number, but he should have a big day. I mean, it's perfect weather down there. And if he doesn't have a big day against this bad Dolphins defense, we're going to be in trouble moving forward with this team.
No, I agree with you. You mentioned the numbers. They have 63 yards rushing average per game, the lowest by any team after 11 games since the 1961 Washington Redskins, who averaged 59.5. So they can't run, and the Eagles don't allow anybody to run on them. So this team's not going to run on the Eagles. And also, as you mentioned, their passing numbers are absolutely awful. They have one of the worst pass defenses. They allow opposing quarterbacks a 106.8 passer rating, 9th highest ever, and they will become only the second team ever to allow 38 or more passing TDs in a season while intercepting 10 or fewer. So this is a feast game. The Eagles they should look like a Thanksgiving turkey carcass the day after, where every single ounce of meat, including the dark meat, has been removed from the carcass before you stick it in that big pot to make some turkey stock. Am I wrong here?
No, I agree with you 100%. And at times the Dolphins have looked half decent, but anytime they play the defense that ranked in the top 10 in overall defensive efficiency, I mean, they lost 59-10 to the Ravens, 43-0 to the Patriots, and 27-14 to the Steelers. And the Eagles currently have the seventh best defense overall in the NFL when you look at the defensive efficiency metrics. So they should destroy this team. And like I said, if they don't, we've got some serious problems here, Tony. Destroy
or win? I mean, obviously, if they don't win, then this city will be – luckily it's raining because it'll help put out the fires if they find a way to lose this game in Miami. I mean, luckily everything's well saturated with rain here. But the number, that's the big question because the Eagles are not really good as favorites for the most part, although they did cover – a couple of games where they were favored, and so they should blow this team out. And, we hear 10.5 and we say that's a big spread, especially the Eagles who haven't been favored, but there's no way that they're not going to win this game by 2 touchdowns minimum.
Yeah, I mean, they should kill this team. And the market always finds a way to correct itself. So a team like the Eagles, who had so much hype early in the year, weren't outperforming the market. And I forget what their numbers are against the spread, but they're not really good this year. So, I mean, come towards the end of the season, it'll come back and the market will correct itself, and it'll get closer to 50-50 against the spread. So they should be able to cover this game.
All right, Philly Godfather, there's also the biggest game of the day, San Francisco-Baltimore. We've already seen pictures from down there.
It's pouring.
It looks terrible. How is that going to affect things? Obviously, Baltimore, the strength is their running game. San Francisco, though, wants to run it as well, play action. Is that changing your thinking, the weather at all in that game?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, this could be a Super Bowl prelude here. I mean, we all got to be honest. Baltimore's probably playing some of the best football we've ever seen. And, I read somewhere that the Ravens are the first team in NFL history to defeat each of the previous year's Super Bowl participants by 17 points or more, and the first team to win 4 straight games against winning teams by a total margin of 90-plus points. It's been an unbelievable run. I mean, their offensive metrics, some of the best in football, and we all know Lamar Jackson right now is the current MVP favorite at minus 200. But the combination of bad weather, in my opinion, and with the ability of the 49ers defense, which has sacked opposing quarterbacks, only 11.8% of their dropbacks this year, which just happens to be the highest rate in the NFL. And the weather, I mean, I can't see Lamar Jackson making those quick cuts and changing direction in this type of weather. So that'll limit him, maybe force him to make some mistakes, some turnovers. When the line went to as high as 6.5, I bought the hook. I'm +7 on the 49ers. I just think that's just too many points here. The only thing that worries me a little bit is the coach for the 49ers said they're not going to be playing a running back because next week is their biggest game of the season. So that kind of worried me a little bit when he said that.
Who's it? Breida's not going to play today?
Breida,
So
Breida's
not playing. But they have other guys, though. And, to me, this is a bigger test for Garoppolo. Garoppolo's been good. Has he been great? He doesn't have to be great because he's got a great tight end. They run routes beautifully. And, Greg Roman, to me, he did it with Kaepernick in San Francisco. To me, he is an absolute – we talk about Andy Reid.
South Jersey's own.
Yes, we talk about Andy Reid being good with quarterbacks. Greg Roman has taken Colin Kaepernick, had him play unbelievable, out-of-his-mind football for a couple seasons, and now you're seeing him do the same thing with Lamar Jackson. I mean, this guy knows how to take talent and use it properly.
Yeah, he's going to crush Michael Vick's rushing record this year. He's expected to beat it by over 200 yards, and when he takes off and he scrambles, he's averaging 10.6 yards per scramble. So he's really killing people with his legs. They don't know what to do. I mean, they don't know whether to play the run, the pass, and he's actually throwing the ball around really well, Jackson. But like I said, San Francisco can bring the pressure and force some mistakes. And the weather, I think, in my opinion, definitely gives the 49ers a slight edge, even though the game's on the road. But you're talking about 7 points. That's a ton of points in the NFL.
No, I agree. And I agree in a game like this because it's normally you get a home team 3.5, the hook that kills everybody. But the fact that it's 6.5, I took Baltimore. I think this is more of we know how good the Niners are. They're the best team in the NFC. But the Baltimore Ravens, to me, right now, even though the Patriots have an unbelievable record, nobody's as complete as the Baltimore Ravens, especially with one of the greatest kickers of all time in Justin Tucker. I mean, they've got it all. Everything you were looking for, special teams, defense, offense, nobody's playing better.
And Mark Ingram playing out of his mind coming over from New Orleans. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but, I mean, it is a market. Don't forget that. And, again, you're buying the Ravens at the peak, so you're buying a stock at its highest point now. I know Lamar depends on his tight end a lot.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, and the 49ers defense have given up the least amount of receiving yards to tight ends all year. So this is a great matchup. It's going to give you a little prelude of what the Super Bowl might look like. And I also like the 49ers offense here against this Ravens defense. We all know the strength of the Ravens defense is their secondary, but they're actually just average getting to the quarterback this year in the adjusted sack rate. I think they ranked 24th overall in the NFL. And the way that the 49ers like to dink and dunk, I mean, it's a perfect scenario for this team to cover the spread today.
And Philly Godfather, we got a good one to cap off the night game tonight with New England visiting Houston. And Houston is is an underdog at home, getting 3 against New England. Any thoughts on that game whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't place a wager on this game, and I hate giving out an opinion on a game I didn't bet. But as a home dog, I mean, the line dropped from 4.5 to 3.5. It's down to 3 at some of the sharper offshore betting houses like BetCris. The sharp money's on Houston here. I haven't made a move on it yet, but if I do, I guarantee you guys I'll give it out for free on Twitter.
At Philly Godfather on Twitter, at Philly Godfather, thephillygodfather.com. But I like to look at the sharps, like I like to look at them. The sharps are on the Giants. They're on the Texans, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. They're on the Bengals today to probably win their first game. The Niners and the Titans. That's who the sharps are all on today.
And who's Colin Thompson?
Tennessee's actually one of my bigger bets of the year. I actually went on radio earlier in the week, and I told everyone the wrong team's favored. And the line went from 3, and now the Titans are actually favored by 1 point. So I love the Titans today.
You like the Titans plus 2.5?
They're actually down. They're actually favored now, Tony.
They're favored. They're
-1 now.
-1. Wow. Okay. So a lot of people. The sharps are on the Titans and the Bengals. I mean, is it going to be their first win today? Is there a chance that the Bengals, with the big redhead back, find a way to surprise and stun the New York Football Jets?
2 minutes.
I mean, the Jets' offensive line has been decimated. A bunch of guys are out. It's a perfect opportunity for Andy Dalton to show everyone he can still play. You're getting 3 points at home. The Jets have been looking lights out. I think they put up 34 points in a row, 3 weeks in a row. So, and now they're coming to Cincinnati, and they're only a 3-point favorite. They're begging for Jets money here, and more than likely, the Bengals will cover the spread.
That's why he is the Philly Godfather, ladies and gentlemen. Every time I go on Twitter, I see him getting out of cars. I see him being interviewed on TV shows. I mean, it's just like an honor to have this man appear on this program. Even John McMullen is genuflecting right now. He's down on one knee.
And I got bad knees.
And he's got bad knees, so that says a lot right there, Philly Godfather.
Man, I appreciate all the kind words. And Tony, like I tell everyone I meet, man, I'm so impressed with your handicap and skills.
Not lately, though, man. I'm falling off a little bit, Philly guy. I need to get the juju back.
Remember, Tony, it's long term. I know people say, "What have you done for me lately?" But in the sports betting business, it's long term. If you can win long term, and that's what you've done consistently over the years, and that's really impressive.
Now, Luigi's been pretty impressive, though. He had the Bills on Thanksgiving Day. He's got, well, we'll talk about him later.
Well, I've been learning. I've been following the systems. I've been learning. That's the thing.
Exactly right. This isn't just a guessing game. This is a profession.
This is chess. It ain't This is chess. It ain't checkers.
You're damn right. Follow him at Philly Godfather on Twitter. He's always releasing stuff. He's always firing. You firing on the Eagles today?
I laid 9 on the Eagles early. Now at 10.5, I mean, you lose some of that luster, some of that value has been extracted from the line. But if you can still lay 10 on the Birds, it's got a shot. There's some real sharp money, actually, that took +6 on the Dolphins first half. So people are expecting the Eagles come out a little flat. But I think in the second half, they take over the game and they cover the spread.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're not getting this information anywhere else. Not anywhere on this planet's surface.
That's good info. South Florida flu. I expect a slow start as well.
You love the South Florida flu? Well, there's other strains running around down there, but that's what happens on South Beach.
There's plenty of strange running around.
Well, yeah,
there's
always strange in Miami, baby. That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Philly Godfather, we'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
You got it, man. Good luck, guys.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He is the Philly Godfather. That's the only Godfather I like. All the other Godfather movies and stuff I hate. He's the only Godfather that I love.
That's bizarre to me.
I know.
Godfather 2? Oh.
No, none of those Godfather movies. We're coming back. We're going to put a bow on this baby. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to get some late words on our crowd here getting ready for the bus trip. We'll tell you what's coming up at Landmark tomorrow night when we're there for Monday Night Football, countdown to kickoff. Monday night games have been pretty decent recently.
Another good game tomorrow.
Yeah, Ravens and Rams.
No,
Vikings, I'm sorry.
Vikings,
Chiefs and Chargers.
No, Vikings.
I'm looking at the wrong week. Vikings at Seattle. Week 13. Hello.
The Eagles win today. I'm going to Miami next week and just to go. The hell with it, man. I need to get away from this weather. This weather is bringing me down.
Get out.
It is bringing me down.
As Harry Mays once said to you and me and everybody else, Luigi.
He said it to everybody.
He said it to me, he said it to you, and he says it once again.
I'll see. Get out! I can't wait to see it. It's been a while since I've seen Harry. I'm going to see him on Thursday. I'm going to come up for the show and hang out.
Oh, beautiful. You coming up to Screwballs?
Yeah, I'm going to come hang out.
We're going to have Eats.
Eats. Not pizza. Eats. I've heard about Eats there for about the past month.
All right, we got a break. I'm getting yelled at again.
We always get stronger as the break comes closer, isn't it?
I know. We're coming right back. The big finish, the predictions, the inside nuggets that you haven't heard yet. All still ahead right here live at Toll Man Joe's in South Philadelphia.
Hour number 2 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show is sponsored by the
Robin, you see
Philadelphia
this guy's
Federal
watching
Credit
the show
Union.
from the corner
Philly's
of
home is our home.
corner
Go
of
to PFCU.com.
Shout-Hurt-to-Scotty and Busarata in Amsterdam. Where is that, Robin? You see
Is that on the Twitch channel?
Yes, it's
Twitch.
Wompix. It's WomPHX.
Hold on. Oh, Wom Phoenix.
Wom Phoenix.
Hold on, where is the
He's
chat
watching the show in Amsterdam.
Joaquin Phoenix is
Not
watching
Joaquin
the show?
Phoenix, no.
In
Not that
Amsterdam?
Joker, no.
Not that Joker. Well done. Well
Joker.
done.
Did you see the Joker movie?
No, I didn't see
here.
it.
Did
Wom
you see
Phoenix
that yet?
I haven't
watching
seen
the
it.
show.
I want to see
John.
it.
Watching the show from the corner
I
of
like-
Stadthouderskade and
If he doesn't win the Oscar,
Vosjestraat in
just shut it down.
Amsterdam.
Just shut it down.
Vosjestraat means street, right?
Yeah,
What street?
Straat means street, yeah. So
Everybody in the house getting tips.
ready to hit the
Everybody in
Holland
the club
Casino.
getting
Everybody in the house getting.
The one lady here was ordering double Jaeger bombs.
No
Yeah.
way.
Not here. She's out there.
Aunt Mary Pat.
Yeah, Aunt Mary Pat, exactly, yeah. We got double
Everybody in
Jaeger.
the picture.
Aunt Mary Pat.
Good man. All right, let's get the cameras rolling.
All right, we all got one look, right? We looking this way? Where are we going?
Where are we going?
We're looking straight ahead. Beautiful.
Toy, yes, you got to get in there, toy, like a
Toy,
toy.
toy,
You know, very toy, yes.
Toy.
Squeeze in.
I'm in, man.
He's in.
Eagle! Beautiful. Wait, we got to do an Eagles chant. Guys, stay here. You don't have to stay crowded, but stay up here. We want to get an Eagles chant.
We got to do the Eagles chant up here, guys, before the thing goes
Yeah,
off.
let's keep them close so we get the Eagles chant
let's get an Eagles
going.
chant when we come back in.
Yeah, get right out. Yeah, okay, do it over there. Is the wireless still working or the battery's dead? Are the batteries dead?
I think they'll be able to hear them. We got enough.
What's that?
1 minute.
Why are we always having battery issues?
No, I asked him if the battery and the wireless was
God
good.
damn it.
Aunt Mary Pat, we got to give her a shout out.
Of course.
Aunt Mary Pat.
Oh, we have I went over and took a photograph on. Can you show the photo to Tony?
Which one, of Aunt Mary Pat?
It's the crowd back there.
Huge,
oh,
right?
Oh my God!
There's over 100 women.
So
minimum.
it's not a bridal shower or anything. It's just the performance of Aunt Mary
So
Pat.
it's a drag queen super show?
Yeah, Aunt Mary Pat.
Are they doing drag queen reading hour? Wow.
What's going on over there?
We have breaking news from there. We'll
Nice.
do the Eagle cheer first, but I have breaking news.
About Aunt Mary Pat?
Yes.
We're just going to come back with music.
Okay.
I do have an audio cut from 2015 with Sam Bradford. Do you want that or no?
Yeah, leave me a little Sam. Slinging it, Sammy.
Slinging sleeveless
To the
Sammy.
great Josh Huff, I believe, right?
Oh, God.
Yes, from Hull.
He's going to work over and back in the back of the end zone. This is the same play they just ran a few plays ago with Brent Selk to really get the drive started. Bradford does a terrific job holding the ball to the very last minute before he finds Huff in the back of the end zone.
Oh, man, the great Kevin Harlan.
As soon as I heard the voice, I was
And
there it
Rich
is.
Gannon, Delaware, and only Delaware County's own Rich Gannon.
That's the only
doing
reason
that game.
That's the only reason I even hung out with you, was just to meet Kevin Harlan.
Exactly.
I got to do that. That was cool.
You don't get any better than Sam Huff.
Sam Huff.
Sam Huff actually
That's
could
Sam
be a quarterback in the league
Sam
right
Huff
now.
will come back and smack you right now.
Sam
if you mention his name.
Bradford to Josh Huff, the glory days of
Great.
Sammy Sleeves. But we have our crowd here now. As we get close to the end of the show, we have to get these people awake and get. Are you people awake yet? Are you ready? In 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from right now, we will already be at FedEx Field.
What time is it now?
It's almost 11:53. We will be at FedEx Field 2 weeks from
11:47.
today, right now.
11:47 is the approximate ETA on the 15th.
Oh, man, we got this whole thing. We got
got
the
a map
GPS
quested out.
coordinates. We have the coordinates. We have satellite stations. We have people checkpoints. We'll be handing us water bottles through the windows of the bus on the way down like you're running a marathon.
Like when I was running the half. Yeah,
Exactly right. All right, now this crowd's coming with us. We know that. We're going to have a lot of fun on this bus trip in 2 weeks, which leads from right here in Tollman Joe's. We've got the great Joe Krause. You guys ready? Let's hear an Eagles chant. I mean, this team needs to wake up and get their acts together today. Let me hear it now.
All right, let me get everybody together, Tone, and then we'll get it back to you. I know we're short on time. Guys, I want to blow this chant out, and I only want to do it once, all right? All right, Benjamin, you ready to go? All right, good stuff. All right, let's do Eagles on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
That
sir.
was half
This poor woman's sitting here like she's at a bachelorette party right now. She's surrounded by men in a chair. You see this?
Who's going to throw the garter now?
I got to get a picture of that.
Stay right there. All right.
There it is.
Tone, is that acceptable from
Yeah,
your
it was all right. I
crew?
mean, so some people just thought that was just chant Eagles. No, it's the Eagles chant. So I need it one more time.
One more time.
I
Remember,
want everybody in unison here.
All right, let's do it. Tone, remember, this is your bus trip. This
I
is
know.
your trip. You control. All right, got one more time, all right? Quincy, you got to deliver, all right? Here we go. All right, lean in here. All right, on 3. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. That was the money shot right there. There we go. That was the money shot. Joe, you see when Joe turned around, you see that smile on his face?
Yeah.
That's when you know it was good.
That was the money shot. That's a great way to describe it.
You
Well done,
must
everybody.
be present to chant.
That's right.
Exactly. Great crowd. We're going to see these folks in 2 weeks. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm
And
looking
the best
forward
part
to that.
about these people that are coming down here, driving down here to get onto the bus, is that they can leave their cars here the whole time.
Exactly.
There's free parking the entire
Free
time.
to park. You get on the bus.
And
you
that-
go down, bada book, Bada boom.
But that's not just Sunday. That's every day here.
Every Sunday, you come for an Eagles game, you park here, and you're right near the stadium. You don't have to pay. You come in, you have great food, great drinks, great people. It's awesome.
They got the barn back there for events. They got a crazy event going on
Speaking
back there
of that, we
right
have
now.
breaking news.
Yeah.
We have breaking news now. Earlier today, we had a lot of lovely women coming in, and everybody thought that there was a bridal shower going on at 11 o'clock back in the back. There's a big barn back there.
Yes.
It is not a bridal shower.
No.
It is a
I went on
drag queen party.
I went on a reconnaissance mission.
Reconnaissance?
Reconnaissance.
That was what they did back in the day. That's what it was.
Exactly.
And the barn is full. There's probably at least 300 people there.
300 women to see
Aunt
the
Mary
greatness
Pat.
Aunt Mary Pat performing today. Here at Toll Man Joe's in the back.
Well, maybe we'll get her prediction on the game, but for now we need hours. I'm going to go 34-20 in honor of 54 people going
We
to
don't
watch
have time. We got a break. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. We'll see you tomorrow night in Landmark. Go Eagles.
3,
Live here from Toll Man Joe's, baby.
1.
All guests appear on the Carson
Yeah, it's
Burger
a hard out
Hotline.
at 56, whatever the number is. Because they've got to be to the Eagles show at a hit certain time.
Hard out. Tony, say goodbye to all people on Twitch.
All right,
and we
everybody on
appreciate
Twitch.
Everybody, and I especially.
Everybody. No, they can't. The PPA does not boot your car in this parking lot.
Nope.
This is a legal lot. You park here. Nobody messes with your car.
And I especially want to thank Wham Phoenix
Where
for
is
checking in from
where?
Amsterdam.
At which they were? Stoudenhouse of Scotty.
No. Stadhouderskade en en Vossierstraat.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That's great Dutch knowledge right there.
Stadhouderskade.
Not Dutch Schultz, another mobster.
No.
The great Dutch knowledge right there. Isn't Ed Nasta going on a bus trip?
Yeah.
He said, what bus trip? Come on, Ed. I
All
may have
right.
to go see this drag queen.
Tony, we are going to be doing a show tomorrow, correct?
Yes, we'll do a doubleheader tomorrow, baby.
But you do have a doctor's appointment, so we might be a little bit late.
The doctor's appointment's at 11 o'clock.
Right.
So I'll have to get up early, prep.
We might not be on exactly at 1 o'clock, but we will be on shortly
Stand
thereafter.
by for the latest, and you'll get the notification on your phones if you follow us on
Correct.
Twitch. But thank everybody. Thanks for listening today, and we will see you tomorrow with the breakdown of the entire National Football League. And my picks are on thepropsnetwork.com. I posted them yesterday. 4 picks. 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem.